This is Tank with Total Homegrown. You're watching Smoking with Sad. Man,
Homegrown, come get a pack. Get a hat with Mr. CBD, just kick it back. I realize that supporting dope people. Just frost the watermelon, so lethal. Come get a whiff of what I'm puffing, make your nose wrinkle. With no equals, I don't see the competition. Bro, work shit, proof of what we hitting. So press play, roll your motherfucking weed up. Kick back, put your motherfucking feet up. Got you behind the camera, you can't see 'em. Put your joint in the air when you see us. You are smoking with the savages. You are now smoking with the savages. Smoking with the savages. I smell smoke. Cause you smoking with the savages.
man, D, you smell something, bro?
Yeah, I smell smoke. What we smoking on here, big dog?
Man, dude, that is a Spliff Society palm leaf. It is absolutely unreal, packed with the finest pave strain.
Oh shit!
So
I dropped it out my mouth.
We smoke pave now in a couple of these episodes. That's some fire, really light lime green. We've popped it up in the frame. Jeez, that fucking shit hit me too hard, too heavy, too fast.
Hey.
But we'll pop it up in the frame again for you guys. We love this pave, but I mean, shit, with who we got today, we're already seeing this pave might not hold a flame to it.
He got to talking. See, we already smoking, and he got to talking a lot. Let me introduce myself. My name is D Lashure, and you guys are definitely smoking with the savages. Look, roll up, get ready. We got a hell of a show today. I got to introduce this man. I call him the Moses of hemp. You understand? The reason why is because he's bringing the knowledge and he's leading us with all of his knowledge. Y'all just got to hear him. It's Mr. CBD. He's here today with us, man. Thank you for coming out, man. I really appreciate it.
And we might have to change it up a little bit so we can make it more like a rap name, you know? Maybe it's going to be like the Moses of marijuana.
The Moses of marijuana?
That sounds, I'm only because you said it will I
okay,
roll with it.
We can change it up how you wanted to. The Moses. We got the Moses of marijuana. This is my man, yo. I'm going to say the first time I met him, we just get to chit-chatting. Y'all gonna see how much knowledge he has. We got to chit-chatting, and you know, this is something that we've been talking about. It's finally the ride. My man Tank, y'all smoking with Savage. Like I said, roll up and listen to this man. He's gonna hit y'all with a bundle of knowledge, and we gonna smoke a bundle of weed. So let's roll, man. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
gentlemen.
morning,
How we
yeah.
doing? How we doing?
We're doing good.
Quite the
Feeling
introduction.
good,
Thank you very much.
No
Thank you.
doubt,
I really
brother.
appreciate that. I'd like to start off by, although you guys have your joints, I'd like to offer you guys greens.
Yes,
A peace pipe to start off.
No doubt, brother.
Absolutely.
That's actually how I start everything.
So what are we smoking here in this peace pipe, my
Well,
man?
we are smoking something I like to call Tricky Kaneki, which is
Tricky
where I put several strains together that I personally prefer. Everything from hybrid. It's got a little sativa in there, has a little indica in there.
Okay.
And you're actually going to get samples of it all. This is coming from one of our preferred vendors, and I'm very particular about my flower. And I want to give a shout out to Sugarleaf Hemp Dispensary, as they are the only THCA flower that we currently carry that we really appreciate and love. We've gone through the strain hunting over the years, and the federally legal THC and CBD flower, smokable flower arena has typically been terrible.
Hey.
And now we have found people and sources that do it right.
Good.
And we also want to give a shout out, since I mentioned CBD smokable flower, you know, we also get that from Goat Genetics.
Oh, goat. We love
Kevin's our guy. And you guys got to meet Dominic from Sugarleaf as well.
Yeah, Goat
I'm going to name
Genetics.
drop a lot of people today.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely,
no
man.
doubt.
That is a fine fruit salad, if I might say so myself. That was a nice little cocktail, little concoction.
Fruit salad.
Man.
It was
Yummy,
Don't go Wiggles on us right now,
Hey,
bud. Don't go Wiggles
Let me
on
tell
us.
you something. When I was smoking it, I was over here bobbing because all I could think of. You ever you listen to house music?
Well, yeah, I
Smoking
grew up
on
with-
a peace pie, yeah, yeah. Bruh, we in here getting fired up, man. Let me tell you something, bruh. Again, like I said, you're gonna hit us with a bundle of knowledge, but I could not. That hat, I love it. It's dope. That black and white. I look at it like it's your alter ego, man. You got Mr. CBD, you got the Hempmeister, Dr. TAC, but you're missing the entourage effect. with,
Well, I
with
never
the
miss
blender.
it.
I mean, we're not missing it right here.
You might all
but
be
I'm
missing the
saying
entourage
that,
effect that
that's
I'm
like
watching.
all of them geared to one. But that's your alter ego. Tell us about that, man. Give us,
So
give us a
I
little
kind of
bit.
want to go into that real quick, but with also offering up a gift at the same exact time.
Okay.
So
okay.
On top of the peace pipe.
yeah, leading to the entourage
entourage
effect, a
effect,
lot of
yeah.
people
That's
don't
what we do.
appreciate. Like, no, not quite yet. We're
Not-
gonna
not
get
quite yet.
So a lot of people only usually appreciate
not
the
quite
entourage effect with like CBD and THC, and they think that that's it.
Okay.
But really, there's a missing ingredient, which is nutritional hemp,
Mm.
and that can really help you be put into balance. You know, hemp is for nutrition, CBD is for therapeutic, and THC is for mental wellness, and of course, recreation. Okay. However,
Yeah.
but even that part is still mental wellness, folks. You know what I mean? How dedicated am I? Depends on how medicated I am today. So, you know what I mean? So here we go.
So we so used to smoking it, and
Right.
that's all we like to do. That's it. We just smoke it. You guys just smoke it. But I'm telling you, after you get done smoking this shit, you gonna be like,
Okay.
does that got that entourage effect in it?
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the thing
Oh,
is
shit.
that what we kind of realized through working with our this is a full spectrum pen. So we have people always talk about R&D, right? So I'm going to bring up something for everybody, drop some super knowledge on everybody today. And the reason why I like dropping super knowledge is because I make it super simplistic and I don't screw around.
You gonna break it down Barney style?
Real simple, man.
Because we high. We
Right,
getting
that's
high,
how it
man.
got to go.
Right.
So, like, we have to get hemp as the foundation, industrial and grain, before we could ever see the proper strides of CBD and THC. I'm dead serious, okay? Now, if anybody who's ever had children before knows the terrible things that are in baby food, including metals
Right.
and arsenic, low levels that the FDA says it's okay.
Right.
Last time I checked, that is not okay. Let me repeat that. It is not okay. Okay? And so hemp, right now we're currently using it in Chernobyl to grow in the soil to take all the radiation out of the soil. Did you know that?
No idea.
Who's using
So
soil in
in-
Chernobyl?
The government program, I'd
So,
imagine, yeah.
So it's a government program where they put hemp out there in the soil to
Okay.
rejuvenate the soil, and the hemp is taking all the radiation out, sucking it right up.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Right. Well, we're
Does any
amazing.
other plant do that?
But
they
they're
know
not.
of, or-
So they're not selling this radiation of weed.
No.
You know what
It's just
I'm
It's a
another
cleanup
way to
job.
heal.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
But what I'm
understand.
trying to explain to you is that's how resilient the plant is and how it can actually cleanse the earth, right? So if it can cleanse the earth, what can it do for you? Nutritional hemp. So the ages between 1 and 6 are very important in your life.
Right.
And so imagine that how simple it would be for us to create baby food out of hemp hearts. Now, do you guys even know what hemp hearts are? And I'm not trying to be rude.
No, I am.
I know what
am
artichoke hearts
very.
are.
Oh, boy.
They sell that. At
I
the
am
store.
not knowledgeable at all, and that's why I was so excited to have you on. So
He finna let it
now
be.
knowledge us up, bud.
He's
All right,
gonna break
so
it down to let it be broke.
This is the
You
deal.
understand
So this
what
is
I'm
why I
saying?
like working with gentlemen who've been a part of cannabis for a while. I want you to know that 5 years ago, I am not pompous, and I thought I knew it all. I'm like, I'm a connoisseur, man. I know it all. And then as I got involved in this industry, I was very humbled. I got down to the basics, brass tactics. Okay, do you know that the lowest form of cannabis is superfood? Okay, the inside of the seed is the hemp heart.
Okay.
Okay, which contains more omega-3s, more omega-6s, more fiber, more protein, has 20 amino acids.
In the seed.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. So I do consume the hemp hearts.
Oh,
because
good.
this
You
morning,
know.
actually, I jumped up with a smoothie. I put my leaves in there.
Yeah.
And then I have this 3-seed omega sprinkle deal, and I put it in there as well.
You don't even need it.
Well, I'm already on it because
But it's hemp derived.
Yeah,
It's from
hemp
the
derived,
seed?
man.
That's
Hemp
crazy.
derived.
I've
So
never even heard of this.
What if I told you our own farmers didn't know it existed, okay? So let's talk about this for a second real quick, because I'm going to get everybody through the motions here.
Okay.
80 years ago, we used to feed hemp to our livestock. Chickens, goats, pigs, cows, everybody, okay? Over the last 40 years, we have seen new development in digestive problems in our country.
Okay.
Diverticulitis, Crohn's disease, IBS, etc. Okay, point is that why is that, do you think? So let's look at the root of the problem. Do we all know that all animals have endocannabinoid systems, including fish, reptiles, and birds. Did you know that?
And the endocannabinoid, say that again.
Endocannabinoid system.
Endo, I know what endo.
Right. No.
Cannabinoid system is.
I kind of figured they could all react with cannabinoids, but yeah.
No, we actually have. So the only thing on the planet that doesn't have it is insects.
Right.
So I like to joke with people, if we're going to all unite, we have one enemy now. It's the insects. Right. I'm kidding, because I love bees. Anyhow, point is, so with all the fact that animals have endocannabinoid systems, and if you don't know what that means, that they are receptors in the body, they have a symbiotic relationship with endocannabinoids and phytocannabinoids, which is what we are with the plants. This is more in depth than I typically go into, but I think it's important that our viewers understand what's going on. Now, I'm not trying to talk over your head, so we're going to get it real simple.
Oh, no.
So what receptors are locks, folks, okay? And cannabis is a key. And what we're going to do along the way, and what I'm helping people figure out, is find your Mary Jane. Whether you're a woman or a man, or what age you are, and what your palate, it's all relevant.
Correct.
How you are going to fulfill your receptors is going to be different from mine. So as Mr. CBD Chicago 5 years ago, I knew this well in advance, even though like it wasn't really well known.
Now you knew this. You knew this how?
Because here's the thing: when you walk into a grocery store, is there only one brand? And okay, if you're allergic to tomatoes, do you go to the manager and say, please, you need to get that out of here? And oh, by the way, I noticed that your grocery store is very well stocked. Okay. It makes me very nervous and I can't figure out what I should buy. Could you narrow things down for me so the next time I come, I can easily find what I need? The manager would look at you like you were crazy.
Right.
So a lot of people looked at what I was doing was crazy. They were like, man, you have so much stuff. And I'm like, why? There's so many people. There's people that drink coffee. Things are beeping at us. Are we okay?
Yeah.
We're not going to blow up, are we?
Yeah, we're fine.
All right, good.
He's got a phone check. Phone check, homie. Camera check on this.
Cool.
Yeah, but we all good.
Just keep talking then?
Yeah, we always keep two
just keep
backups just in case.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Man,
so the really what it comes down to, and I'm sorry, I completely lost my train of thought with the beeping. Where was I at the moment?
So you're talking about keys unlocking.
Keys unlocking. So finding what we call it is our program that we're developing at Mr. CBD Chicago is Find Your Mary Jane. So what do? When I meet with someone, I don't sell them on a product. I meet them where they're at. My parents were like the two biggest people that were against cannabis at one time. Okay. All right. And how I was able to bridge the gap, or many ways, is them learning that I was using it for mental wellness, recovery, for muscle recovery, and recreationally, that it was better than alcohol for me.
Right.
Which I stopped drinking in 2009. And that's, if you do,
good for you. That's awesome.
If you do drink, I will tell you that cannabis has a place for you too, but not THC, and we'll get into that later. Anyhow, finding people and meeting with them where they're at. We are the master distributors for Willie's Remedy, which is Willie Nelson's coffee. Right. I don't drink coffee, but people do, and it's a better way.
It's some infused coffee,
of course. So we have that through Willie Nelson. That was one of the first companies that we started with. Back in 2019, we only had 4 vendors. Now we are up to over 70 with a waiting list of over 30. And we have probably over 1,000 products online, give or take.
Oh my God. All in one place?
All in one. Yeah, like all over the website. Of course, we have vapes, flour, we have topicals, tinctures, edibles, beverages. And then we have functional nutritional products. We have hemp made out of pasta.
You got stuff for dogs.
Yes.
Pets.
Your
pets.
We specialize in that, but we got to come back to that.
Okay.
That's a whole nother subject. Now, I want to wrap this part up.
All right.
So finding your Mary Jane is what we call it.
Okay.
Okay? Because your Mary Jane looks different than mine. And what I tell people, although I combust, I'm a relic. And I don't recommend combusting. You know what I'm saying? Because you're losing 25% of all the good stuff. So there's better ways to consume cannabis. What are you made out of?
Water.
Right. So we came up with nano liquids, and we isolated the plant. So that's the CBD version. This is the THC version. They're tasteless and odorless. I came from a restaurant, bar, and entertainment background, and I know what simple syrups are like. And we got to keep it simple for restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, so they can bring this on. I should be able to go get a mocktail or a marijuana mocktail at a bar and be able to socialize with people and not feel weird.
And this is
I used to run
these are
Stadium out by you.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
used to work at Nelly's and everything. And
For sure.
So I'm
You understand
heavy,
where I'm coming from.
I'm heavy in the restaurant business. Left that in 2020 to come do this.
So say, and I did that in 2019. Good for you.
Yeah.
I was in the
Awesome.
game for 16 years, man.
what you
That's
got
awesome,
there.
bro.
What's that you got there?
So man, this is their CBD, and the instructions are so simple on the side. It's 10 milligrams per teaspoon, 30 milligrams per tablespoon. It's flavorless, so I mean you could literally add it into whatever you wanted, mixer wise, whatever.
Well, guess what?
This is
You can
actually
cook
what
with it.
this.
You can cook
So
with that.
this is what we tried at Gotti's Hideaway. It was so cool. Me and all the guys, we had THC drinks. You could
Shout out to Gio and Jackie.
Man, they are awesome. And then their food, they had the hemp pasta, so that must be what you're supplying.
I can't wait.
Unreal.
Did you say? Did you bring that?
I
you
got
bring
some
that?
for you. I didn't bring it here for display because I have too much to bring as is.
I was gonna say, oh my
I've
God.
kind of taken over your table.
We're
you can
gonna have to
see.
get a bigger studio for this guy.
So that's the incredible infused liquid. I got the Dr. THC Nano liquid
Correct.
in my hand. That's 1,500 milligrams of Delta 8 THC. Now
Let's talk about that.
Now we noticed that. Let's get into it, man. Because
Come on,
because
bring
my man
it.
come
I'm
here when
ready
I
for
first
it.
met him.
There's
when I
something out there
first met
called
him,
misinformation.
Yes, when I first met him, man, he said, "Do you know what THCA is?" And I was like, "Okay, I know what I'm hearing about. Do you know what the Delta 8?" Now I went to the store and I seen the Delta 8 weed, and I was like, "That's some fake weed." So he's about to school us on Delta 8, 9, 10, CBD, and F.
Is that his card?
THC weed,
yeah,
yes.
those are-
And he was
these are the
giving
Cliff
these
Notes
out.
to cannabis,
Yes, he gave these out, and I still
Somebody's
have this from
finally
the
made
first
it.
time I met him.
Yeah, it's me.
And
I had help, but it was definitely.
he's definitely going to hit us over the head with the different THC
Man.
levels and what you are looking for, and when you go into these stores, and when you go out of town, and people have. So that's the thing. You can go out of town, and people have Delta 8, and that goes to where they're selling the hemp part of it and not the THC and giving you the
No, there's more.
percentages
No.
of it.
Hold on.
Is that
No.
okay? Well, shit. You go ahead.
Every
He-
distributor
he is
should
the,
have
uh,
it in their shop.
He
Here
is,
we
he is the man with the plan.
Wait, hold on a second.
So give
Say
us
that
the
again.
love.
Every distributor should have that in their shop.
All right, folks,
Yeah.
here we go. So now this is a pivotal moment, right,
Here we
for
go.
everybody that has to understand what's about to happen. In order for the true normalization of cannabis, we need less elimination, more regulation, and more education.
Oh, man.
Okay, and there's a place for all the cannabinoids. There was a reason why we utilized them. We know about this all the way back from the 40s. Okay, for the record, these didn't just show up because the Hemp Act showed up. However, there are good practices and poor practices. For those of you that need to know, Delta 8 is a natural occurring part of the plant, but people use synthesized chemicals to expand it. Okay? Now, there's other people who don't. You can use natural catalysts and water extraction, which is expensive, but it can be done, and it is done. So there is a way, folks, for us to be able to use. Why? And someone goes, "Well, why would I want to use Delta 8? That's fake weed." Au contraire, mon frere. So let's talk about that for a second. That's what I thought too, for the record. So let's make it clear. I was late to the party with Delta 8 for Mr. CBD. When
I was
everybody was
walking
making
around.
money on it,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. So I want you to know that's where I started.
Yeah.
But then I did more due diligence, and I realized, well, wait a minute. There is a place for this, and I didn't understand why at first. But then I looked into it some more. The first time I tried a Delta 8 edible. Now let's talk about this for a minute. Again, consuming is different. So when you smoke, which I'm gonna do, take a
Go ahead.
a public service
Yes.
announcement center.
Let him clear his throat.
We'll be right back after the short break.
Oh, I hope you don't
by the way-
mind.
dude, this Timber Cart tastes unreal. Orange cookies.
I haven't tried it yet.
smooth
We're going
as
to talk
shit.
about how great that is
Let me
and
get
how
some more.
how also unfortunate the industry is because we're not giving it the proper support and the proper knowledge, and so companies aren't able to sustain good ideas because people are unaware of what's going on and why you would want to even have a pen like that in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, so consumption. When you smoke or vape, it hits your lungs, and then 30 seconds later you feel it, which is why we like it,
Yes, sir.
right? And so that's one. When you drink it, like our nano liquids, okay? Okay, cool, I can take that, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, there's also water in that Savage's cup.
Okay, so you said we could cook with these earlier?
Yeah, correct.
This cup of the straw is all you.
Thank
We
you.
can
Thank
cook
you.
and we can cook and we can drink these straight.
And we're going to.
Oh man.
So we've already smoked today, and you guys have been vaping. So I'm actually guiding you down the yellow or the green brick road. Okay. So when you go through
What'd you say, Moses?
yeah, right. I'm parting the green sea.
Ah, yes, my friend.
So here's what's happening. When you do this, you feel it immediately within 30 seconds. It's a lot of instant gratification, but let's talk about it from a medicinal point of view. If you're in a panic moment, like if you have a super anxiety, folks, a lot of you think that THC is the way. It could actually obviously increase it. Sometimes THC will actually increase whatever your mood is. Don't forget it, because it's a mood enhancer. It's not just about the cannabis, it's about you. You have to take some responsibility.
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference, though. CBD, on the other hand, will absolutely mellow you out. And some people go, well, I don't feel it. Well, do you feel vitamin C when you take it? Do you feel vitamin B?
Hold on, this motherfucker hits, bro.
I know, guys.
I'm sorry, bro.
That's why I got quiet for a minute. I was like, I'm glad I'm in the
This
listening
motherfucker
mode
hit,
right now.
man.
Yeah, I know. And you know what's crazy? What if I
sorry,
told you
bro,
that was
like,
CBD?
damn. Well, I'm.
Man, aren't you blown away? Oh, you
It
weren't
don't
ready for
matter.
that.
I'm hitting
That's
the
the best.
I'm
That's
hitting
the-
the weed. Is it CBD?
I'm trying to tell
hitting
everybody.
It's smooth. Look
I
at
know.
the cloud. Look. Make a cloud. I'm gonna take
And if
the
you
mind
didn't,
off
and
the
if you
bullshit.
didn't know, you wouldn't know if I didn't tell you.
Man, this shit is fire, man.
It's
And this
amazing.
tastes great. All that. I'm sorry, man. I
No,
had to
don't
tell
be.
you,
You're
man.
excited, and I want the emotion.
Right.
That's raw.
Thank
You
you.
know what I mean? So listen up, folks. You could get those timber pens at MrCBDChicago.com, and they're full spectrum CBD, so it has 0.3% THC. Now, why would you want that for a developing brain? Now, I'm going to ask you guys. You ready for this one? This is not not everybody likes what I'm about to say next, but here's some knowledge. Right? When did you start smoking THC?
Oh man, this is our question.
That's our question.
No, I'm doing the
This
interview
son
now.
of
We got no. You know what?
That's my question.
Yes,
kidding.
that is our
But
question.
no. You know what? It's a great way to lead into him telling us.
Ain't
But
that a blip?
so I first started smoking weed. I was about 14, I think. It was 14, 15, right in
You
that
see how
kind
he
of
flipped
age
the
range.
script on us?
I'm messing around. What about yourself?
No, I started smoking weed at 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I
okay.
started smoking weed at
and then
18.
myself at 19. Now I'm going to tell you about what I do know from with science and our compatibility with the plant. They always and first time I said this, I laughed because I didn't mean it like this, but like it's true. You got to when it comes to dosing yourself, you go low and go slow, but most people don't do that. And so, in your teenage years, we need CBD and less THC because your brain is still developing all the way till you're 25. If I had my way and I could help, like as you said, in which you are already with me, those cards should be at every smoke shop, every gas station, any place that's dispensing CBD, Delta 8, and for the record, our dispensaries could use those too because they are definitely lagging in the arena of all the plants.
The crazy thing is it would help them sell a wider variety of their product that doesn't sit on the shelf and they end up just discounting to nothing anyways if they just told people what they were looking for.
They'd have
That's-
to have this card, like you said, with the knowledge in there in order for people to understand. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Well, we
I
got to
mean-
take it a step further because this is where I know you're going to appreciate this. So, like the Restaurant and Bar Association, we have the Bassett's, right? For alcohol and food. We need that for hemp, CBD, and THC.
Absolutely.
And so, but there's right now, some people will disagree and be like, well, there is bud tending classes on Learn to Serve. They're kind of atrocious and they're only pigeonholed to dispensaries. They're not talking to restaurants, bars, and nightclubs about how to apply hemp into a dish. Well, let's talk about that. So, hemp, we're talking about drinking, right? So when you drink a nano liquid or nano-infused liquids, another opportunity to plug something. I'm sure you guys are getting, a little cotton mouth over here.
Absolutely.
So it's time to integrate nano liquids, and now we went from vaping and smoking, which you guys all know, into capillaries. And we talked about consuming cannabis at an early age. Your brain develops until you are 25. If I had my way, I would tell everyone that from 1 to 6, you should use nutritional hemp in your child's diet. There's no THC, there's no CBD. I could go over the massive benefits of that. I have a Cliff Notes to the Hempmeister over there. So you guys, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys all the digital versions of those cards. So as you edit the
Miss my
show,
whole lip. Y'all
if you
didn't
choose
get
to use them, you can, so people
Whole
can
lip.
actually read them.
Let's pour it
Absolutely.
all
You know
on
what I'm
my
saying?
shit.
So
Cheers.
Ain't that a bitch?
cheers, everybody.
Cheers. See,
Wow.
that's
I was
what
gonna
I
say,
get for
crack
not
'em.
cheers. Miss my whole lip. Okay, so check it out,
Cheers.
man. You giving us, you dropping that knowledge on us, and it's gonna be all we're gonna keep rolling.
Yeah.
But like we said, we gotta flip the script
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
you a little bit. Like you said to us.
I think
he
this
asked-
might tie in perfect
Yes.
with it too,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
our favorite question to ask people right when they come
Tell 'em.
on.
Let's go.
Take us back to your first time. Tell us about when you first smoked weed. Put us in
What
the
if I
setting.
told you not only am I going to take you there, I actually brought the strain.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Stop playing.
What?
with it.
You're gonna put us there. Put us there.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Ready?
put our. You're gonna put us.
Hey.
What?
So what?
the lungs.
Hey, that's
Thank
a-
you,
that's-
Christian.
all right,
We
that's
have.
all right,
Has
I'm
anybody
excited
ever
for
done
this.
that to you?
No, this is
We,
the first time.
we
big dog.
usually reminisce
take it away
about the
from me.
strains.
Yeah,
I'm
let's.
number one.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I'm gonna tell you something.
I
So
like
you
messing
are
around.
you are number one with that.
I mess around.
But I gotta give it to you. But your boy came on here, man, and showed up and showed
Yeah.
out.
Which
Moon
boy?
Rock Matt.
I'm
telling you.
That's my boy.
No shit. No
Moon
shit.
Rock.
We had a
Hey.
little segment about you.
Oh.
I mean, I like you.
I love Matt.
I like you. You understand? And Matt
We came
on
up in the
here.
game.
Yeah, so he was telling us about it, but
He definitely filled the
100%.
table up the same way.
Yeah,
just
he
like
definitely
you.
filled the table up, but
took
he
up
set
some
the
real estate.
standard. You come in, set the standard. But now he's bringing the first weed that he ever smoked with somebody. That's love.
As a
I
matter
feel
of
like
fact,
you
the
just
crazy.
smoked weed like last week or something.
crazy
like, I've
part-
never had a
Love.
strain last that long.
No, he
the-
just kept it under his bed.
No, no, actually, gentlemen, what it was, it took me 30 years to get it. Legitimately, 30 years to find like the first strain I ever smoked, and I've been asking people for it for this whole time,
Okay.
and I finally just got it yesterday.
I feel like I'm watching
What?
one of them videos on the internet where they just keep saying it over and over. What the fuck is it called, man?
Alaskan Thunderfuck.
Oh, get out of here!
Let's try it. Let's
Is that
try
it right there? Is that it? No, it's
Right
over there.
there.
Alaskan Thunder.
So we gotta grind. I gotta empty my grinder in a tray.
I
I
got one
smell it
for
through
you.
a bag, baby. What the fuck?
Through a bag. That's a jar. You're
I
really
know,
high.
but you can smell it. Jeez, Alaskan Thunderfuck. Yo,
This
hey,
flower is brought to you by Sugar Leaf Hemp Dispensary.
From the first time I ever smoked.
You ever see these Phoenician grinders? All
Yes.
quarter turns.
30 years ago.
Love 'em.
This man smoked, and he's sharing it with us today. So yeah, he is the first one. And if anybody else want to say their first love of marijuana,
Put it in the comments.
you
Let
smoked
us
some
know what your first strain
good-ass
was.
weed for your first time smoking. Big
I had really cool friends. I was a good kid. I went to I go to school, got decent grades.
Okay.
Played sports, and I went to church. I never really messed with cannabis. I was really afraid of it, and it wasn't until I was a freshman in high school that no one prompted me. I had just started doing a little bit of due diligence, and I was like, I'm gonna try that. And I found out like every one of my friends except for one, and it was my best friend. We were the ones that had never tried it, but everyone else had. So they made a big to-do. Like, I was very blessed with so many friends, and we went up with like 25 people up to Wisconsin at a cabin to smoke for the first time. Well, that's what we were supposed to do. However, I got antsy and decided to smoke for the first time the night before on the side of my friend's house right next to an AC unit. And we were smoking out of a car part, which I will also send you the picture of, because it's this thing is being held hostage by my friend who smoked me up for the first time.
Smoked
I
out of a
kid,
car.
I love you, Nick Brown. But thank you, Nick, for sending me on this mission, by the way. But he
said he
still has
smoked
the
out of a
bowl
car
till this. Yeah, it was a car part, and they turned it into a bowl.
Okay.
And that was what I first smoked out of. And we were on the side of a house, and it was in Hanover Park, Illinois. And I was 19 years old. I was smoking out of this car part, and I looked at my friends. I'm like,
A lot of delinquents are.
I'm like,
voting
you know
in
what?
Hanover. I love it.
I'm like, this is not working. And I'm like, yeah, you guys. I'm like, this is not all the hoopla is a bunch of just BS. And then I looked up at the stars, and then something happened. Everything moved on me real weird, like I was on a roller coaster at Great America, and I was like, I started giggling, like that drop you get on the first, like a drop on a roller coaster. That was my first experience with cannabis, and I started laughing hysterically. Now, what's really funny is that there was about 25 people, and like only 3 or 4 of us actually smoked. So there was a bunch of people that felt super left out, and I felt bad, and they were like, And actually, looking back on it, like, imagine how nice it is to look at, like, how many people really just wanted to, like, be around me for the first time just to smoke weed. It's very humbling. And it's been like that the rest of my life since. But the cool part is
we're happy to be around you.
Hell yeah, dude. It feels awesome to catch up with you.
You are killing the game. I don't know if you heard that goat go off, but like I said, you the Moses, so the flock is following. You had the goats just
the craziest reference too, just to stop real quick, Alaskan Thunderfuck as a strain was always considered among me and my friends like the mecca of strains to smoke.
Right.
So the fact Moses is bringing us to Mecca right now is the weirdest shit happening.
The biblical references are a lot. My mom is going to be rough about this one today.
I'm going to tell you.
Same over here.
Look, don't nobody else steal this. Don't try to come up with a better intro.
So the thing is, so now we're smoking it, right? Obviously, and I start laughing and whatnot, and we all come back in, and the whole weekend revolved around me smoking dope. Which I want to also mention something that my friends did that is definitely not normal, and we're going to talk about this. They were like, "Listen, man, none of us can smoke and drive. So since it's your first time smoking, you're gonna drive
How
and
old were
smoke."
you?
I was 19.
Okay, because you said 30.
Yeah.
My bad. 1930.
Yeah,
My bad.
So I'm like, this weird logic at the time to me, even for me. So we went into the middle of a cornfield at a 1989 Chevrolet Caprice Classic. And then I'm like driving, and they were like, once you learn how to drive high, you can always do it. This was their philosophy to me. And I was like, all right, they were the ones listening. I'm like, I listened. And then I did it, right? But some of these guys could never do it because they said they didn't learn on day one. That was the thing. And then, you know what's weird is they were right. And then down the road, folks, Oxford and Harvard are starting to do, tests about driving impaired. And so they say, if you drive on alcohol, bad news. Yeah. If you're tired, bad news. If you're sober, it's more bad news than if you're high. You're less accidents, less tickets. And people are like, that's serious, you're impaired. No. I don't drive fast. I don't get road rage. I relax. If you cut me off,
have a nice day.
Have a good
one.
I relax. And someone goes, you know what? Well, you shouldn't drive on THC. Well, maybe you shouldn't, and that's why CBD exists.
My bad.
So if you consume too much THC and you got to get behind the wheel of a car, that's where CBD's got to come into play if that's something that's not okay for you.
Okay.
But for me, because I'm a high energy dude, like if you want to compare, like I'm not comparing myself, but I'm talking, people know the stories about Willie Nelson and Mike Tyson, like said cannabis saved them from, many lives have been saved.
Right.
I have a high energy like that. Like I'm a barbarian or I'm a Buddha. You want me on Buddha days. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And cannabis allows me to stay in a Buddha state.
Right.
You don't want me going around being a barbarian. I'm going to start pillaging villages.
That's why you're on the Savages.
Gym a little bit.
Yeah, 420 Fitness. We're going to talk about that too.
See? You look like you've been hitting
Thanks,
the gym.
man. I appreciate that.
See, that's why I asked you. See, I didn't mess up the age you were. I was looking at you and I was like, he looks very young. That's why
when I bust off the beard, when it hit 70 degrees, this thing was gone. You know what I mean? Just so you know. So as soon as it hit 70 degrees, it's too hot for me.
My man.
But when you see that, it's funny because I didn't know this existed because I haven't had a beard in a while. And this was kind of like a little bit of a middle finger to something that happened to me recently that we talked about, which we would talk about later, Smokey.
I need a trilogy tank top too.
I'll get it for you. Matter of fact, that's coming your guys' way. So send some stuff. If you guys would like some swag, just give me your sizes and stuff, and we're going to send it directly here.
Circus time.
Okay? I should have done it beforehand. That's probably one of the things I wish I would have done, but it's going to come after the fact.
That's why when you said you was going to cut the beard off and you was going to have in this warm out, and he was going to have tank tops.
Shit, got to get that summer bod going, man. Got to get that summer bod going.
Well, but here's the thing. People don't understand about working out and recovery with cannabis. So, I mean, I guess I should touch on that for a second, which also leads into the nanoliquids. So, nanoliquids, which we didn't mention earlier, when it hits you in 5 minutes because it goes through your saliva glands, it's not the same. So, if you notice when you drink our nanoliquids at Gotti's or when you drink a fizzy, it hits it's a liquid bowl. So, it's not the same feeling as smoking. It's completely separate. All right? So, it hits a little bit different. And so when you use Delta 8, by the way, Delta 8, remember earlier, folks? Let's go circle back around because I'll never forget. So I'm going to keep making sure you guys learn along the way. Delta 8 is lesser psychoactive, and what's it important for? Well, I'll let you know is it's an amazing ingredient for food. Although it's tasteless and odorless, it enhances your food and your taste buds beyond belief. Now, for those of you who have had to deal with COVID and losing your senses,
Hell yeah.
Delta 8 is for you. You need to know this, okay? I feel very sad for people who do not get to experience some of the joys of life, which includes smell and like taste, because they have been sick. This can help get you back in business. And oh, by the way, why is that? Remember those keys and locks that we talked about, receptors?
Right.
They're responsible for 3 major things that all y'all need to know. Your mood, your sleep, and your immunity. Let's reverse it.
Nice.
Your immunity, your sleep, your mood.
Right.
Okay? All important. Right? And what brings us all together? And so cannabis, if used properly, hemp for nutrition, CBD for therapeutic, THC for mental wellness, you put it all together equals the entourage effect, which then what happens is your body goes into balance, or what people call homeostasis. Mm-hmm. And well, people go, do you know what homeostasis is? Nope. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, when you are in homeostasis, your body is in balance, right? Your mind and your body are in balance with your soul. And so this is food for the soul. This is food for the body. This is food for the mind.
Right.
And if you only use one, you're only working with part of it. So I'm trying to be the example of like, this is an amazing machine that we have. And I want you to know that like, it's taken me, like I've been on a roller coaster journey with my mind and my body. So I had at one point, like in 2018, before Mr. CBD became a reality, I was 275 pounds, maybe covering around 300. I had diverticulitis had taken over me. They were giving me Klonopin for something that they had no business giving me Klonopin for. I threw all my medicine in the toilet, told my parents I was going to take an ode to go to hemp and that I was going to move to Colorado and become a bud tender. Never happened. I became Mr. CBD instead and stayed here because I found out a couple of months later that we were going to be federally legal. And I'm like, I don't have to go anywhere now. And I wanted to be here because if I wanted to run a distribution company that had a wide assortment of things, I needed to be able to go east or west faster than anybody else. And being in Illinois affords me the opportunity to do that. And in case you didn't know, this is why UPS's headquarters are here and why they have their own airport, because they can go east or west faster than anybody else. So if I wanted to be in CBD, hemp, and THC distribution, I need to be in the heart of the empire so I go east or west faster than anybody else.
So check this out.
We're glad he got stuck out here. Hell yeah.
And that's what I've been talking about. That's what I've been talking about. We're going to segue into another question we have for you, but that's what I've been talking about for a minute. Illinois cannabis community. This man has brought us into it. That's what I speak about a lot because it's strong. And like you said, it is going to be the gateway to California, Michigan, all of it, north, south, east, and west. It's going to be the gateway. And we are standing here and trying to be a part of that. And that's what we're pushing to this Illinois cannabis community. Like I said, all the time, my man told me, don't hide it, divide it. And that's what you're doing.
Thank you.
You understand? And you giving us the knowledge. Yeah. So, next question, Tank. He was talking about federal. He's talking about law.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I was going
boy.
to say, next question is, ever get you in trouble? Parents, law? You ever get in trouble with weed back in the day?
Oh, with my parents, yes.
Yeah?
It's a hilarious story at that.
Never at school or with the law or anything? Just went as far as the parents? Lucky guy?
No. I'll make it quick.
No trouble.
I used to throw parties back in the day. When I was younger, I was like a cross between, mentality-wise anyways, of like Ferris Bueller and Van Wilder. If parents went out of town, I would show you how to throw a party and make sure you never got caught. Cardboard on the floors, plastic on that, blacking out windows with garbage bags, taking Polaroid pictures. Yes, I said Polaroids. I'm older. Making sure that everything on the walls is exactly the way it was. Take everything off the walls. Put all of it in one bedroom so nothing gets damaged.
Damn.
Come on, man.
I was getting in trouble in college just blowing through the what is it, the toilet tissue roll with the
with the bunch
fabric
of fabric
softener
softener shit jammed
I
in
wish
there.
I would have knew you then, man.
Yeah, well, I turned it into a 16-year business. So I started I was an event planner.
The house, so
from house parties to like clubs. I threw 5,000 people
and you were
parties.
doing this as a teenager?
Yeah.
My man. That's what make him a what?
I was so fucking reckless. That's what makes him a savage.
My man.
My first business, I was too young to own it on my own, and so I had to have my parents co-sign for me at 17. And my first business, by the way, is an ode to my current business. my current business is an ode to my first business. My first business, which is funny, I was a music producer, and I produced house music. And my company name, and it was given to us, was Mr. Blue Jeans.
Mr. Blue Jeans.
And it was a pimp name. And
Slickback?
Huh?
Slickback?
No, it was actually Don the Magic Wand who hooked it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so West Chicago, like west side of Chicago, I should say, like Madison and Pulaski.
Right.
And I used to sell tapes out of the trunk of my car.
You was over there?
And I also used to be on Pulaski in Milwaukee, and I had a shop when I was 17 years old called Stop and Shop, and I sold pagers for a living. Sky pagers. And when I was in high school, I wasn't in high school. My first 3 years, I made my own schedule because I played sports, and my counselor liked me, and all I did was hustle.
So what was your
yeah,
nickname then?
That was me.
Because you had to have a nickname out there on the west side with
Before Mr. CBD
Well,
was
the
born.
Mr. Blue Jeans was the first.
Okay. So
But there were many names.
Everybody called you Mr. Blue Jeans.
The one name that people gave me in the beginning, my parents don't like it, but it's true, and then I was Mark Motherfucker Kanicki, man. And then, because I'm going to tell you how that came about. So I was, like, if you remember Pulp Fiction,
Oh, yeah.
when Pulp Fiction first came out, I was afforded, my first gift after that movie was, like, people who knew me in school, and they gave me a bad motherfucking wallet. And then every year, for as long as I can remember, like, people gave me either a bad motherfucking wallet or, like, a Superman shirt or some shit. Like, I was thought that very appreciative of how other people viewed me. At the time, I didn't understand it,
Right.
and now I do. And so, yeah, that was a unique time for me. And then, yeah, that was. There was another nickname that I went by too as time went on, because my initials are MAK.
Okay.
So Mark Anthony Kanicki.
Okay.
So, like, you know, and I talk a lot, right? Because I'm a hustler. So my buddies called me Smackus. Instead of Marcus, it was Smackus, and I talked a lot of smack, and I fucking. But
I
back it up.
Talk a lot of shit, but I can back it up.
Yeah.
I heard you.
There it is.
That's why you on
Bad
here,
motherfucker.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, we got it on the thing. That's so cool. Yeah, that's the wallet.
Shout out to Drew, working everything behind
That's pretty
the
cool.
scenes.
That's pretty
Thank
cool.
You, Drew.
You know what's crazy though?
Oh, I'm going to actually ask you to do something. Since I didn't know you could
Willie's
do that, may I
Remedies.
offer you something to do for me real quick as a favor? So if you look
Sure,
up Mark
what you got?
Kanicki on Google, there's something funny that pops up. So a couple years ago, I was at an underground party, and the Chicago Tribune showed up, and I got interviewed. And when you look me up,
Spell that last name for me.
Kunicki.
Yo, put in your comments what y'all smoking out there. I mean, put in the comments.
You ain't smoking,
what
we
you
smoking, I
Y'all-
know
y'all
that.
ain't-
Oh, man.
Y'all ain't smoking no Alaskan Thunderfuck.
how
Look
do
it
I-
up.
how do you-
Look it up, youngins.
Spell that last name
If you
again.
ain't seen it,
Kanicki,
But, type in your
Kunicki.
comments. And I hope y'all are smoking as long as
K-U-N-I-C-K-I.
because we have not stopped passing the gristle while we whistle. You
I love
understand what I'm saying? So keep it rolling, man.
Well,
so
there's so much, but yeah,
I know, man. So I like the personal stories, man.
Here we
So
go.
Yeah.
Right here.
and this is
Mark
what it's
Kanicki,
about.
founder
We
of
want to
Mr.
know
CBD.
more about you. I know you got the knowledge, and we're gonna keep feeding us the knowledge. But we want to know more about you and the fun part about you and what makes you and what brought you to here, man. What
made you want to kind of kick off into this industry?
Yeah, man. Like this is You're so much fun. First of all,
Thank you.
It's,
Like,
for some people, it's like a single moment where they're like, "Man, I went to this concert and I fucking saw this happen
Right,
or that."
right,
For me,
So it
it's not
seems
that.
like it was a chain of experiences
Correct.
for you.
right.
So life is about experiences, folks. That's what it is about, right? So a lot of people just go, home to work, weekend comes, woo! Home to work, weekend comes, woo! I have been the person to beat to the beat of my own drum. So when everybody was working 9 to 5, I would work the weekends.
Yeah.
And I would run party buses and make sure people stayed off the roads from drinking and driving. Prior to that, I wanted to play sports. I was very competitive. Football, basketball, whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? But then I broke my leg like Joe Theismann when I was in high school.
Damn, like that.
Damn. Right.
How'd
And
you break it?
playing basketball.
Oh,
So I
man.
came down on a fast break. I fake left, fake right. I'm like Mark Magic. And I come down, and instead of passing it, I thought I was gonna score it because I thought it was Mike. And then I went up, and then dude, asshole, and I know who you are, dude, you motherfucker. Till this day,
You fucked him up.
He,
Man.
You fucked with
went
Mr. CBD, you
down,
fucked with
dude.
the Savages.
He
I
went
don't like
down.
that.
Instead of trying to block my shot, he kneeled down, like he like crouched, like
Should have stepped on his back and
like I
fucking
don't.
dunked
I've never talked about this. You don't understand what happened though. So I never talk about this. And the motherfucker, if you're listening right now, it was a super bitch move, and I've never talked about it in 30 plus years. Okay,
30 plus bitch move.
So
ass
I
bitch.
went to jump up, and he like stopped and went down fetal position almost, and so my leg locked up on him because it hit him. And so my knee went backwards. So, if you know the Joe Theismann thing, it goes backwards, right? But here's the worst part for me. I flipped over, dude, and then my leg hits the bench. And then my knee, instead of going backwards, my knee broke right here and went forward.
So you went, your knee went.
Yeah. So here's the worst part. I'm 17 years old. My parents are on vacation, and I'm alone. And you know how things used to rock back then? There was no way of getting a hold of anybody. And they're not going to give you painkillers until you're actually...
Right.
Until they get a hold of your parents.
Right.
So when I was in the hospital, they were like, I was 45 minutes in. I'm like, you can't imagine the excruciating pain like I was going through, and I couldn't bend my leg. Okay, so it's stuck like this. So they go, hey, we're gonna give you anesthetics, and here's the Alaskan Thunderfuck.
Woo! Oh yeah. Okay.
So I went to go bend my leg, and they're like, hey, we're gonna give you anesthetics. You're gonna count from backwards from 5. I go 5, 4. I went like this. And then my knee went like this and it hit the metal railing on the bed. And I jumped up like a bat out of hell. And I'm like, guess what? I'm like, I'm not asleep, motherfuckers. And they're like, I grabbed a doctor and I went, bam. And and they grabbed me and I went to sleep. And then something happened.
He said, guess what? I'm not asleep, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right. This is why
came up.
This is part of where the Mark motherfucker Kaniki comes into play.
Throw your son in the court.
So then this story gets better, folks.
You went in the shot, bro. You was out of there.
I was
That's
out.
roasting.
So it was bad.
I've broken my ankle, man, and I know what
bad.
that feels like.
It's bad.
Bro.
It was real bad. So now,
Holy
this
shit,
story gets a little bit
son.
funnier.
Alaskan
It's sad at the moment, funny now. So now, I wake up in a dark room with a mask on my face and I can't move. And I'm scared shitless. And I'm like, get me off here. Taking this fucking thing, trying to get it off my face. And I start screaming bloody murder. And the lights come on and all these nurses start showing up in my shit. And I'm like, why am I tied up? I'm like, I'm ready to kill everybody. I don't even know where I am, what's going on. So I guess apparently I couldn't wake up after like the surgery.
Oh man,
they couldn't wake me up. And so the poor nurse that tried to wake me up, I punched her in my sleep, and I didn't know it. And so they tied my ass up. And they couldn't get me to get up. And they were nervous I wasn't waking up. And then when I woke up like I had been abducted. I mean, I learned that don't tie my ass up. It's probably bad for everybody. So, because I got claustrophobic real quick. And so then something happened. So I was on a cast for my hip to my toes, and my parents had to take me home.
They finally came home.
Yeah, of course, yes. They came home right away.
Who called them? How did they?
To this day, I still don't even know how they got a hold of my parents. Like how they were. Like I actually should ask them. Like how in the hell did they get a hold of you? Because it might have been pagers still back then. You know what I mean? We might have been on the pager program. Had to go to Ma Bell and call us up and see what was happening. She had to go find a landline and get a quarter in there.
But she got a baby though.
Well, they all came home. I'm very thankful. Mom and Dad are great, but they should have sued Glendale Heights for that one. Anyways,
we still want to whoop that bitch.
Yeah, that dude, man, that dude was a dickhead.
Yeah.
So then. Anyways, 3 days later, right? So they have to give me horse pills every 4 hours. I was on hydrocodone and Vicodin. It was terrible at 17 years old. That stuff makes me feel like a zombie, man. So then, now what ends up going on is that my mom has to wake me up every a couple hours because the pain is excruciating. Like I said, I broke my leg right under my knee. I couldn't move. My body was in it was a body cast from my hip to my toes, and it was uncomfortable as hell. We're talking like mid-90s, man, and people didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So one day, I wake up in excruciating pain.
You didn't start punching people, did you?
No, we're getting there.
Oh, God.
So then we wake up in excruciating pain, and I'm like, Mom, holy shit, I'm in so much pain. Why didn't you wake me up to give me the pill?
You didn't slap her, did you?
Hold on. So then my mom goes, I tried to wake you up.
Oh, no.
You swung at me. I missed. I missed. I love my mom.
Barbecue's so good.
But I missed it. Luckily, I missed it. I missed my mom. And she's like, oh, well, screw you. I'm going back to bed. She's like, I'm not taking that risk. So then she comes out and she's giving me, and I'm taking it. I'm like drinking the water, right? Now, mind you, what you guys don't know, and I didn't mention earlier, is I had absolutely forgotten everything that had happened. But all that triggered my memories. And I'm drinking the water, and I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, Mom, I think I punched a doctor. And she's like, my dad's like, you were drugged up. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I'm drinking the water. I'm like,
Shut up, son.
and I'm listening, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm remembering certain things, like their flashbacks.
Shit.
And I'm like going in like, Mom, no. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, Mom. I'm like, here's the deal. I'm like, they tried to perform surgery on me, and I'm like, I woke my ass up and I punched someone in the face. I know it happened. This is not a dream.
He's playing
And my
it
mom
out.
goes, there's no way this happened. And she goes, we're going to the doctor today. So we get to the doctor and crutch my butt up there, and the nurse comes in, and the poor, remember the nurse I told you about when I originally, so she had a shiner. So the first thing, my mom like does like a 180 on me, like in the room. She like looks at me like oh shit, you were kidding, and I'm like, oh, like sorry.
You really punched this chick.
So
He
I'm like,
was in there like Trey from Boys in the Hood.
yeah, I was like,
Fucking
yeah.
slugging motherfucker.
So then I felt really bad. So then I'm like, oh my God, Mom, I didn't punch a doctor, I punched that nurse. And they're like, oh no. And then the doctor came in, and I broke his nose and his glasses, and they were all taped up like, ultimate like 90s style. You know how they used to wear when they didn't have
He
means
was
to
out there
fix
looking
glasses
like
fast.
a jerk.
Yeah. And so I felt real bad. Ultimately, the ending of that story was they told me I wasn't going to be. At first, I'm like, just like any athlete. I'm like, I got tryouts in a couple months. What's going on here? You know what I mean? Are we ready to
And
go?
you're like,
I'm ready to go now.
about
I
that.
can't believe this is happening. At that time, I had learned like I was getting really good at sports, and I'm like, I'm thinking that this is a
Fuck
way.
everything.
It's a way for me. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And then they looked at me and they were like, we don't know if you're going to walk again. And I was like,
So check this out, man. Out of all of that, I have to segue into
I know where you're
something
going.
that
I know where you're going.
this is something big that me and you talked about. First of all, I'm a veteran, a veteran, and Marine Corps veteran, and you do a lot with the veterans. You do a lot with the homeless. The shit is just incredible what you do. The medical side, you're taking opiates, you're hurt and all that. Imagine what you would have known. This is why you break your leg. Now you have evolved into something special right now, and you talk a lot and you tell everybody, this is your knowledge that I got first from you. And this is how I knew I wanted to fuck with you on this side as a person, personal, you're just a personal dude. Let us know about the medical side, what you felt you could have benefited from. First of all, you wouldn't have been slugging motherfuckers out. You wouldn't have
better believe it.
You wouldn't have
You
knocked
better
out the
believe
whole ER. You did, first of all. You
You're
wouldn't
right.
have done that. You'd have been on something different, man. So
Right.
let us know how you like I just tapped on a lot of things, but let us know how you work with the medical side, how you work with the vets, what you get out of this.
Well, after that story, as you know, I had to wean myself. I had to wean myself off of those drugs I was getting as a teenager.
I mean,
And it really was awful.
Awful.
It's really shitty. And I plus didn't know, like, there wasn't like enough knowledge back then. They just told me that to take it, and they didn't really explain anything that was going to happen to me, physiology wise or anything.
Right.
And everything was messed up. Like, my head was cloudy. I was irritable. Shit was all messed up. And so once I graduated, like I said, then I learned about cannabis from my friends who took me to Wisconsin, and it's always been a part of my journey. But in my 20s, a part of my journey was alcohol as well, which I didn't know I was constantly crossing the streams and playing with death, which goes into the medical side of things, which we're getting there, because alcohol is very addictive right now, especially after the pandemic. It's on the rise, and cannabis and alcohol, especially THC and alcohol, do not mix well, folks. It's science. I'm not going to get into it. Go look it up yourself if you don't believe me. But what I will tell you, if you drink alcohol,
Tank has cut out alcohol and THC. That's definitely a mix that doesn't go well.
yeah,
all the time
if,
for this
if
guy.
you do drink,
We
folks,
had one,
CBD is perfect for anti-hangovers. So I'm going to cross over with you one way or another.
That's why I got
And
this
our
right
goal
here.
is to
So
do
I'ma
some
save this for that.
cannabis beverages that are
Save the
mocktails,
timber
that are beer, and like we have
when I feel
CBD
like I'm
wine.
going down.
So as people get addicted to that stuff, we work with a lot of people who are in AA. And so we have CBD wine over here, as you can see, and the nano liquids allow people to do mocktails.
CBD wine.
And you guys have a
Crybaby.
few different flavors of this, don't
This is
you?
some
Yeah, well, that's the
Crybaby.
only one I have with me because we
800
sold out. That's how good it is. So we have
Because-
Chardonnay, Rosé.
This is
Yeah, that's simple
syrup.
syrup. Yep.
I was
Can
going to
pour
say,
this
we
into my
you-
dirt for my plants to suck.
you have a
that up.
sangria
That's
too,
different.
right?
I know. I'm just
You wouldn't
kidding.
use that, though.
I know. I use that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
use I always say maple. It's
Maple. What?
no, it's not maple syrup. I always say maple
molasses.
syrup. Molasses. God
Yeah,
damn.
you were just talking about that.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
But
getting back to
what you said along the way. So like whenever I got back to that diverticulitis thing, they gave me Klonopin, which I thought I was going to die. Cannabis brought me back home. So then along the way, I'm also well known for having a lot of huskies. I have 4 of them. There was Mr. CBD and the Wolfpack, and I rescued a husky in 2009 named Smokey, and then I rescued several other huskies 6 years ago, and one of them was having weekly seizures. I learned more about the ECS system. As you know, a lot of people utilize the reason why the Hemp Act happened. A lot of people remember Charlotte Fiji. Charlotte Fiji was the girl that was getting about 300 plus seizures a day, and her family fought for the rights. You know, they were at the forefront. There was many other families. She is just very well known for that freedom fighting part. Unfortunately, she passed away during the pandemic. They said it was a COVID death. I know now that it was not, which really upsets me. They deemed her as a statistic, but she really wasn't. But she got to live a better quality of life because of CBD and hemp. It curbed her seizures dramatically. Well, then I learned that man's best friend has, endocannabinoid system too, and I'm like, CBD should be able to do that for her. She was having weekly seizures. Fozzie, she's now 14 years old, and I gave her had a bunch of people there, gave her CBD. 30 seconds, the seizure was over, and she hasn't had one in 6 years. Now this leads into the military stuff. Because then we came up with our own product called Best Friend Pet Tincture and sprays that are right there. Shout out to Benji from Everything Better Co., who manufactures everything that we do. I love you, bro. No. The blue one and the white one.
Now that I know you're a dog person, I'll introduce you to the Roddy.
Yes. Oh, good.
Best friend.
So that's Smokey and Cash, and this product is for cats and dogs, right? And so then a portion of all of our proceeds goes to Canine for Veterans. Why did we go this route? Because there's been so much demonization
on top of
cannabis, right? From the devil's lettuce point of view. Right. And so when people learn that dogs don't, and cats don't know placebo, right?
Right.
They don't know.
What does that mean?
They don't know.
Explain that to me.
So so sometimes if you go into the emergency room or something and you like having a panic attack, doctors are known, like there's things that they'll do called placebo effect where they give you a sugar pill and they tell you you're going to be okay.
Oh, okay.
And then it's mind over matter, folks. Don't forget that.
The placebo effect.
No.
No.
That's real.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But what do you do with THC? I mean,
what do you mean?
I was thinking this was THC right off the top. That was a placebo effect for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so CBD,
I'm sorry, but yeah.
This
does have something in it.
Yeah, it actually has a little THC in it. It does. It's full spectrum.
0.3, you said.
0.3%.
Yeah.
But but because of it's in a vape format, notice how it's still very potent for you.
It's good.
Correct.
So check it out. Keep on going. I want to give a shout out to Southside Gin. I'm about to smoke something I grew called Snack Time.
Oh shit! Okay.
We're still smoking on Alaskan Thunderbuck in here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
let's keep on smoking.
Keep them all going.
Southside Gin. I want to give a shout out, yo.
I'm actually going to the Southside later today.
Okay.
We'll talk about that too. But
are you gonna be out there with the pimps?
No, I'm going out there by Munchies. It's Munchies Cafe. It's going to be our first day with Munchies on 95th, and they're going to be using our nano liquids in their shakes and in their with their food over there.
Oh,
and if you haven't been to Munchies yet, they spell it with a Z. Like I said, it's off of 95th in Chicago. I'm very excited to have this relationship with them, and they already were cannabis themed, if you will. Like, if you don't know what to eat and you go in the kitchen and you're putting a bunch of stuff together, they've learned how to do that and make it presentable, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
And now they're knowing that they don't have to compromise their food or beverages with our nano liquids, and that it's just a garnish, folks. We're going to garnish her stuff with our nano liquids, and people are going to have to, of course you have to be 21 and up to utilize our nano liquids. That's very important. But when it comes to CBD, if you're with an adult, you want to, isolated CBD is okay for kids, because guess what it means? It's isolated CBD. And what is CBD? Nature's Tylenol crossed with a multivitamin, right? So getting back to the military, we started working with Canine for Veterans, helping the veterans understand that the dogs do not understand placebo. So they can't be told that this is going to work, and they got to believe it. Right. They don't know. But we put it in their food, and then you see the difference. What does it do? It helps their mood, and better sleep, and increases their immunity. My boy Smokey, that's on the bottle right there, he lived till he was 19 years old, which is extremely lengthy livelihood for animals. Okay, he only recently passed away. It's been a little bit rough on me because he is my best friend. So it's been a long journey with him, and now it's like that part's going to continue through this. So here's the deal. Then we help the veterans. When the veterans see that the service dogs are helping them and that we help them, they're more likely to let us help them. Get off the opioids, get off the alcohol. CBD and THC is for them. So then we transitioned into education. And a couple of years ago, I got stuck with a car like breaking down, and I couldn't get it fixed in a matter of time because if you remember, parts were scarce at one point because of the pandemic. So it took a lot longer to fix my car than normal. And so then I had to go inward. So I got to work from the neck up because I can't do the things I used to do. Yeah. So then I worked on becoming an accredited educator in the healthcare space. So I do CEs for healthcare workers on hemp, CBD, and THC to educate them and also to help reverse the wrongs that they've done. They have the Hippocratic Oath. Cannabis has a friend in need is a friend indeed. Right. One is a drug. The other one is a symbiotic relationship with the human body and the plant. So now I've had to hold up a mirror to the industry and say, this is what you need to start leading with. We need to stop making cannabis the last line of defense for people, 100%. And it needs to become the first line of defense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay? 100%. So that's why I started working with them. And then we started working with the Illinois Hemp Growers Association. Shout out to Rachel Berry. Massive inspiration on me doing public speaking. Thank you. And it took a while. It took us 6 months to get accredited. And the funny part is I was very impatient, and I thought it wasn't happening fast enough, only to learn that even healthcare workers take a couple of years.
And you were moving through it faster than everyone else.
Yeah, I thought I was impatient. I'm like, just stop it fast enough. What the hell is happening? And then it happened, and I'm like, and people are like, dude, you really did that fast. And I was like,
it's good to hold yourself to that higher standard, though. Set that bar high. Hell yeah.
You just did some shit with the homeless too, right?
Recently, as a matter of fact, shout out to Christian and Christina that's in the room, and Viviana for putting it all together with Laverne and Liz with LV Cares at the church in Aurora. We helped feed the homeless that day, and I did something I never thought I would do, which is educate the public in a church setting.
Oh, wow.
This was an experience.
Moses.
You have that.
Moses.
Oh, my God. If that water would have done it, if we could have found a way, like, you know what I mean, to manipulate that water, it would have been great.
Again, reach out to the savages, man. If you have anything like that, with the homeless, with any
we always like to help.
Public reach, we would like to come out.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I'm trying, and I think a lot of our community, like, Viviana put it together. And I remember her telling me, she said, we're going to, she's like, I'm going to put you in a church where to talk to education. And I remember when she brought it up at first, I was like, say what? And I'm like, I'm pretty out there. Like, I've done many things. But this was a new one for me. And it was the first, again, like I enjoy being first. But sometimes trailblazing can be uncomfortable, and I was dealing with people who are homeless who are definitely in need of help. There's people who are in the lower middle class that can't afford all the medicine and the expensive things that, the healthcare system has been providing for people, and people are looking for a natural way to make sure they heal themselves and to stay healthy. Right. It's like you're going to spend money if you're not feeling well, right? Yeah. Or you could either be proactive or reactive. Either one costs money. What are you going to do? What's a better way?
So, do you smoke before or after you work out, or both?
Both,
my man.
And if I have my way, sometimes during.
Uh-oh.
No, for real.
Yeah.
So like I go to a gym. Obviously, they don't let me smoke in there. But there are some times that I work out either in my backyard or from home when the weather suits me. Right. Sometimes some people do yoga and Pilates and whatnot. I utilize Tai Chi, which is just meditation and motion for me. Mm-hmm. And I do something called token Tai Chi for 5 minutes every day. And that's something I pioneered for myself back in 2020. I took it when I was a kid, and then I started doing it again back in 2020 because there was some time on my hands. And I recorded myself doing it, and some people were like laughing, but also like, what are you doing? And then I actually did it once in front of 50 people. I did a token Tai Chi course at Drink Nightclub at a higher consciousness event. So not only do we do stuff with like trying to do stuff with charitable scenarios too, to be good pillars of the community. But we also do a lot of spiritual stuff with people too. I try to bring people together, as cannabis is a spiritual experience, and it does bring people together. There's people I would never meet if it wasn't for the plant. It breaks ethnic barriers, it breaks social barriers, but it breaks barriers, and that's the cool part. I mean, I work with Amish people. I work with, I'm all across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what I'm going to be doing one day, because cannabis always opens up doors to me that I would never have expected otherwise.
And at the big meetups, it's a whole different vibe from being at a liquor industry event, something like that, where someone gets too drunk, knocks their boss out or something. All these cannabis industry events, it's so chill, and just everybody you meet, it's like there's no friction or anything like that.
I'm not 100% agreeing with you. I'm going to tell you one thing that I agree with you, but there's something that's going on that everybody who does this, I'm not calling you out, but I am, and I love you. Here's the deal.
They call them out on the savages, yo.
I don't mince words. I don't mince words.
They called them out on the savages. The bitch ass motherfucker tricked them earlier. Now we got some bitch ass motherfuckers doing.
Would everybody agree that when there's a different vibe from drinking versus cannabis?
Yeah.
100%.
So what about if you put them in the same room? I watch people who are at cannabis events who consume alcohol, and they literally are approaching people who utilize cannabis to literally actually socialize, because they have social anxiety, including me. If it wasn't for cannabis, I wouldn't be a public speaker, and I couldn't do it.
That's honestly probably pretty true for me too.
Same.
I probably wouldn't even be.
So there's no way I would do it because
weed.
I'm not built like that. So when I used to serve tables, I would have to get high before going in. And if people were like, there was only once that happened where I didn't show up to work high and people thought I was. And I was like,
they're like, man, there's something wrong with this guy.
I was like, but
So
here's the thing: it puts me in instead of people say, well, you're high, I would prefer to say I'm imbalanced.
Right.
And that's where we got to change our verbiage. I'm balanced out, man. So I'm balanced out. Where are you? I'm sorry, you're not balanced out. Why? You don't get a good enough sleep. You're drinking alcohol. Your food consumption is not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so you want to worry about what I'm consuming when I'm trying to keep myself in balance.
Right.
Why don't you go worry about putting yourself in balance before coming at me? And again, when it comes to where we're at with laws and healthcare, I have done my best to be a trailblazer, because I have again felt like hemp has been a missing ingredient. Right. When someone deals with cancer, what is the first thing that people talk about when it comes to cannabis? And I want this from the audience. Could someone tell me what is the first thing that people do when they've done everything that the system has told you to do? Then where do they end up?
Go try some. Go smoke some weed.
No.
Go get some,
Take it
go
further.
Try some cannabis.
Go further.
Go get some
anyone who knows what it is. What is the one thing that people think can potentially help them at the very end? That they were like, oh, I heard about this, and it could maybe cure my cancer. Does anybody know? No. Well, yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. Cannabis. So what I'm trying to get is, if you don't know, it's RSO. Does everybody know what RSO?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's like, shit, I knew that one.
Yeah.
But you guys know.
Rick Simpson.
I haven't heard.
Correct.
Rick Simpson.
Pardon me. Yes. So, but what people here's the issue with this, real quick. So, when we talked about healthcare reform, unfortunately, people at the very end, after getting chemo and being pumped up tons of drugs, then they go, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm going to die. Can I use RSO oil? And I'm like, yes, it's not the worst idea in the world, and if used properly, it can help you. There's the key term right there. It's not used properly. No one knows enough about it to actually tell you how to use it. Everyone goes, a grain of rice, okay? But if you've never used cannabis before, okay, I'm going to give you an example of what that's doing to somebody. It's like taking them to the bar for the first time when they're 21 and offering them a liquid cocaine shot, 151, and being like, how do you feel now? You want to drink again?
Yeah, right.
And you'd be like, that was a terrible experience.
And
you remember how that used to be our ritual? Used to be seriously the norm. When people turn 21, to get them so annihilated.
Yeah.
And so that's what people are doing with cannabis. They go to the annihilation moment, and if you're not mentally ready for annihilation, then guess what happens? You regret. You go, oh, that's not going to work for me. I can't handle that. And then something that really could have helped them, they scale backwards on. So I came up with a solution based on knowledge and experience, right? So I learned that Tommy Chung overcame his colon and prostate cancer by utilizing hemp seed oil. Refined hemp seed oil is the hemp parts pressed into oil, guys. Okay? So now it's isolated. The nutritional aspects are there. And when you feed your body superfood, it starts to perform superbly. It's that simple. 1, 2. We isolated CBD, right? So now you can figure out your threshold for what you need every day because everyone is different. Then we isolated THC in a Delta 8 format, which is lesser psychoactive. Utilizing all three can initiate you into homeostasis, which then you found your Mary Jane instead of taking you the shot of liquid cocaine.
Hell yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you shouldn't use Rick Simpson oil, but most people, there's a lot of
Say, walk before you crawl before you walk and run.
Correct.
So
important.
He's explaining it to you. So
and then taking it a step further, we used all three to create a topical. Okay. And the topical has a hemp seed oil base, which nourishes the skin, CBD for the therapeutic and anti-inflammatory, and THC is also really good for that as a combined effort. And then we made sure that it doesn't smell like Ben Gay. That's over there. There's a pump. We're going to actually make you try it. That's it, though.
The entourage?
The entourage effect. It's all three parts of the plant. And so some people, like when they have pain, they use a topical. But then they forget that they should also have an ingestible so that you can attack it from the inside out. The topical is only one part. Now, if someone goes, Mark, well, there's THC in that topical. Can I get high? No. Number 2, can you pop on a test with a topical? No. Is a great part of absorbing this through your feet, like they used to do with onions and Vicks, like you know the wives' tales.
Socks and
right. Do this with your feet and have the best sleep of your life. Okay.
Really?
Yes, a little goes a long way. So I want you guys to try it at some point, whenever you're ready. And if you have any pain currently, especially with people, I work with people who have arthritis. People are just dealing.
I'm going to give you a list of my complaints at the end of the show that you can figure out.
You know what the thing is that again, I'm very grateful and have the opportunity to have enough knowledge to where I feel like I can sit there and be like, okay, let me help you with your complaints and see what's going on and actually guide you to a reasonable, obtainable goal of pain management situations.
First day I met you, you gave me some of that and Nirvana.
We're not right. Moon Rock Madness.
Guess what? I misplaced my bottle and I've been searching, and I cannot find that little motherfucking bottle, man. And it was doing its thing. I was rubbing it.
Where can they go get more of it?
And I would do it at night.
MrCBDChicago.com.
And I would take the Nirvana at night, and it would, because I have a lot of pain in the middle of the night. The covers hurt my fucking ankle. I mean, it's...
So we're going to talk about that real quick. Those Nirvana gel caps, they're going to be discontinued, which is very disappointing because those are good, right? But guess what? Here's a newsflash. Mr. CBD never stops. So we found a way to get
fucking
to the
puffy.
No, not this. This is not the best time probably to be puffy. But I will say that we have the luxury that we're going to actually do it. So once Nirvana has discontinued their gel caps, we're going to continue the legacy of the recovery gel caps, and it'll be Mr. CBD Recovery.
Mind if I take my shoe off and put some on my ankle?
No, I don't care.
My feet don't stink.
Get comfortable.
I took a shower.
I'm not going to put it on there for you, but
you can't rub no feet on.
Not right now, man.
Come on.
Shit.
I feel like another Pulp Fiction reference is happening.
Come on.
Right? Remember that?
What's the part?
The feet. Remember rubbing other man's feet?
Yeah.
Let's just
you
play
threw a
all
man
Pulp
out the
Fiction
window
right now.
just for rubbing on his feet.
Yeah. But no, so again, yes. Well, the whole purpose of this, by the way, was if an ounce will do an entire body. Oh, yeah. So, by the way, there's a story behind this whole discontinued situation.
We didn't smoke the ounce,
guys. I want to. So you love timber, right?
Oh yeah.
And you guys liked the gel caps. So the same thing happened with the oil. Or massage oil. There was a company that was doing gallons and they discontinued it, and my wholesalers wanted it, my massage therapist and my chiropractors. So I went through all my vendors and said, well, who can do it and who wants to do it? And then ultimately I ended up going, I gave the idea to everybody, but no one could be competitive, or they really weren't serious about making it happen, it felt like. So then I went to our manufacturer, Benji, shout out again, Everything Better Co., and he came up with this most amazing formula of all time. I'm like, give me hemp seed oil instead of MCT oil. Give me CBD, give me THC, make it a superhero dose, because as you guys know, I went through a lot of pain, and so do a lot of other people, and I want something that works. I'm tired of something that smells like crap.
I was just about to say that. Please, I was just about to say
it smells like crap.
It smells great. This smells great.
Right, and if I'm hurting, I don't want to smell like crap. And by the way, most of the stuff they give you either freezes you or heats you up.
I squish
you know what I mean? And I don't want to be either. I want to be nourished.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this nourishes you, it actually does the job for therapeutic purposes, and then you smell good. So guess what? That's aromatherapy. And then something else we learned by accident. I had several couples hit me up after the fact, and they're like, I hope it's not TMI, but your stuff is pretty good. I'm like, yeah, well, it's good. I know. No, I mean, it's really good. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, you know, I've kind of been on the rocks with my lady for a minute, and I got lucky. And I was like, what? And I'm like, really? And then it was a thing. These couples don't even know each other, and I started hearing it like several times. You know, and I realized that massage therapy can turn into erotic therapy, and it all worked out. And then someone told me now that we might have to look into this. You know, I like to do more research, of course, but we might be able to say this is an aphrodisiac.
Okay.
Shit. Maybe you need to sponsor a Terp and Titties party for Moonrock Night.
For Moonrock Night. Now, that right there, you cannot... so we're going to go a little further. A woman would not want it to enter her, would it?
Here's the thing. People do that all the time with massage oil, by the way. Right. It has way worse stuff. Okay. So my stuff is simple ingredients. Okay. And they have lube out there, which we also sell. Look it up at Mr. CBD.
Y'all sell dildos too, Mr. CBD?
No. No. Just lube.
Mr. Mr. Blue Jean, Mr. Blue Jean dildos out there? No.
Mr.
Blue Jeans.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hey, that's my guy.
We'll have to bring that back.
That's my guy.
Yes.
He was with the pimps and the players.
Man, you got
Did you go to a players ball?
Everything.
Did you ever go to a players ball?
Yeah, I used to go to the Pimps and Hoes parties all the time.
Hell yeah. That was always the college things.
Yeah. It wasn't just over and over. I would like real shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You went to the real shit.
Yeah, I guess I was lucky because, I mean, I was well-cultured, man, so I got around. And I've been very lucky to be around a lot of different things. Right. So I got a chance to see some things and do some things that I'm pretty sure that most people we've never done. Like I said, the experience of life is not, so again, not to get all motivational and spiritual on people, but tomorrow's not promised today. So if you did live this day with the most amazing experience possible, what are you doing with yourself?
This is the original White Boy Rick.
The original White Boy
Rick.
Rick.
You ever see that?
I don't know White Boy Rick, no.
Oh, well, you a White Boy Rick too.
You
have to watch it.
I'll take it as a compliment.
No, you know your story, so you a White Boy Rick too. But he just ain't get out of jail yet.
A White Boy Rick?
Yeah.
Oh shit, still locked up, huh?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh yeah, they put the hammer on him.
Yeah.
So you gotta check it
going to jail. Now you gotta check.
Now you gotta check it out.
That's way pre-COVID.
Now you gotta check it out.
Well, with the whole medical thing, by the way, I failed to mention that in 2009, I was attacked in front of my own home twice, and I defended myself, and I went to jail for 9 days, which put me in a PTSD moment, which is also part of my journey. So cannabis helped me overcome a lot of that. I used to have a super fear of cops after my freedom was taken away for that. Because what we were all taught, what most of us anyways, my father taught me, don't start the fight, finish it.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I went Mortal Kombat on this dude, and it didn't go so well.
Also, there's no rules in fighting. There's rules in boxing.
Yeah, so the unfortunate part is he attacked me in front of my home, put me in a headlock. Dude separated me, came around the car, chose to take off his shirt because, and he was like a New Jersey Shore wannabe. Yeah, I hope you're listening. And then
another bitch?
Yeah, another one. And then but this one I was, guess what though? You know what's interesting about most of the people I knocked out? It's either because I was drugged up because I had a broken leg, right? Back then, it was my last time drinking, it was my last night drinking, really drinking. And so I got smashed. So I was all blacked out. No, I had no recollection of any of it. Didn't know what happened. The story that I'm telling you is third-party story. So what was told to me what happened, which I didn't even know until I got out of jail after 9 days. So this dude took off his shirt because, of course, that's what you do. 2009. Took off his shirt, came at me. He was 6'4", looking like a Ken Barbie doll, and he fucking punched me in the face. My buddy was right there. It was his birthday that we were celebrating. And he goes, Mark, he's like, your eyes usually, low because you're high. And he goes, you eyes got real big. And he goes, I never see anything like it in my life. And it only happened in 10 seconds. He's like, 1, 2, 3. He's like, you punch him once, you punch him twice. And before he can even hit the ground, you got him with a third one. And then so his jaw got broke, his nose got broke, and his head bounced off the concrete. I'm not bragging because it's not cool. But, of course, all my cool fights happen either when I'm unconscious or like blacked out. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. Let's keep me in a balanced Buddha state, you know what I mean? And only release that moment if it's absolutely necessary. And fight or flight moment.
Robot on that motherfucker.
Yeah, for real. And so, at the end of the day, I spent 9 days in jail thinking that I had basically killed this dude. 24 hours after the fight, they wired up his jaw. He went to Coach House and got in a fight while I was in jail. Well, I'm basically sitting here thinking that I'm going to be in jail forever for potentially killing somebody. I spent 5 years in the court system, lots of money. I missed my only family reunion. It really ruined my event planning and party business, and that's when I got into professional football. And I started working with, instead of transporting, people to bars and nightclubs, I started transporting to people Sears Center, at the time it was Sears Center, and Allstate Arena for Chicago Russian slaughter games.
Oh, no shit.
And so I'd make sure people still weren't drinking and driving and tailgating. And I had a great time doing indoor arena football. I got to live a dream of mine for like 8 years.
That's dope.
We won 2 championships. I helped 5 guys get college scholarships. Like 15 dudes got into the pros. We were the Bears actually knew who we were. We were like the Kane County Cougars of football. Shout out to the Chicago Chaos alumni. I love you guys, and they're an important part of my journey because it comes up to like not only my injuries, but I started learning about like football and like injuries and like how CBD can help you recover faster. And that's where 420 Fitness comes into play.
Let's hit it.
So,
420
I know a lot of iron athletes, right? You know what an iron athlete is?
I'm not familiar.
Okay, so they like bicycle, they swim, they run.
Oh, do
and do it all at once. And so I met some guys that were iron athletes, and I learned from them years ago that they would smoke joints beforehand.
That's what
And they'd be like, dude, you
That's
smoke
what
a
Kevo does.
joint before doing all that shit?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man. And I'm like, why? And he goes, he told me the science. He goes, it opens up my capillaries.
Mm-hmm.
Laser focus.
Laser focus.
And I was like, damn,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And then I did it for myself, and I was like, there's something to it.
Laser
And I started,
focus.
and so now there's people who will say they disagree with this, and they're not looking at the whole gamut of it. And then realize the bounce back game is a lot different.
Yeah.
They're not looking. They're only looking at some people go because they're looking at it from a performance enhancing moment, right?
Right.
They're like, is it performance enhancing? Well, I
It
can't
kind
tell.
of is, man.
Well, but they wouldn't
the
know.
way I lock in,
But
man.
here's the thing.
I play. I don't play basketball without smoking.
But see, here's
If I have to hit the and I give it to before I hurt my ankle, and when I was a little bit of lighter and a little bit of younger, man, I used to give it to people. Y'all know. I did. I played a lot of ball, man, and I was good. And I used to smoke, and like you said, a lot of people I hooped with smoke. We smoked before we played ball on the
You
Sunday.
dialed in.
Shout out to my guy. Rest in peace. But yeah, man.
Why do
it
you
was-
think you're dialed in when it happens? Here comes therapeutic
Man.
moment. You ready? Why do you think you get dialed in when you smoke dope? Anybody know?
It slows my thinking down. I mean,
Sometimes it's the
personally,
receptors, man.
Does everybody feel like that works for you sometimes? Right?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you why. A lot of us are undiagnosed with ADHD or what people call it, right? Attention.
So I do have
Mike.
ADD.
Right, so
and
right.
So I self-medicate.
Right.
Yeah.
And it helps you, right?
Yeah, of
So
course.
when I was younger, I would get terrible grades in high school. But
Can I get some of the Alaskan?
oh my God,
Oh,
we'll pack
yeah.
you a free you get greens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Do
what-
not
what
give
a-
him that.
I'm not-
Gentleman
Thank
and
you.
a scholar
jump
over
right
here.
over that
Because I haven't
Are
had
you
that strain
kidding
in
me?
years.
What is-
Had that years
And
ago.
my God, we also got to
What's
pass
that?
it to the couch.
He's gonna give him fresh screens.
So
So you
please,
gotta
after you
finish
smoke,
the
go that way.
bowl,
Pass
and
the
then when he's gonna
cup.
pass
Thank
it
you.
through. a fresh
Normally I'd
one.
go ladies first, but you did ask it, and you're also part of the show, and I can't believe we haven't gotten it that way yet.
Oh man, no
Oh
worries.
yeah, absolutely.
I can't believe you
So-
actually
so,
have
yeah,
it,
we
and it's
can
Alaskan
definitely jump into
Thunderfuck.
it.
It's real. And shout out
I
to
haven't had
Sugar
that
Leaf
since
and
the
Dominic
90s, dude.
for going out of their way. They knew the story
Holy
about this
smolies.
being my first ever strain. And I don't know if it was specifically for me, but like he knew exactly when I went there yesterday to go grab the best THCA in the area, which again comes from Sugar Leaf Dispensary in McHenry, Illinois. Shout out to Dominic, love you guys.
Leaf.
And Christian, love you guys, and all the whole staff out there. Like, if you want to know what it looks like to go like a real hemp dispensary, Sugar Leaf does it right, guys.
Man,
Like, I'm super stoked. Like, I'm very thankful to have that partnership with them. We earned it, and now we're working together. And a lot of the fine, flower that you're seeing right here all came from their dispensary. And when I went there, they actually knew we were coming, by the way.
Okay.
And so I was like, "Listen, man, I'm gonna knock it out of the park. I'm gonna
Man.
make sure of it."
Well, we'll
and
definitely
you can
highlight
also-
them. There we go,
Actually,
Sugar
just
Leaf
for the
right
record,
there.
we distribute for
I wanna
Sugar
get
Leaf.
Sugar Leaf
so you can
on
go to
here.
our site and all
Sugar
that's
Leaf,
on
come
there.
be a
Mr.
Savage.
CBD Chicago has Sugar Leaf products on it. Okay.
Come
So
hang out
this
with the
actually,
Savages,
man, this
Sugar
pulls
Leaf.
us right into our next kind of set of questions nicely.
Hang
Because
out with the
next we
Savages,
want to
Sugar
find
Leaf.
out like what are your How do you like to smoke? What do you like
We
to
got
smoke?
a game. It's a game
You-
called
Your smoking preference, what you smoke, man. What
What
are
You
you smoking?
Smoking?
Okay.
What You. I'm fucked up, so I.
I was
I
gonna
know I'm
say,
trying to bring it
we're
in.
going.
That's why I said it's a game called. Say
What
it,
you
please.
smoking,
Say it, because I
baby?
fucking forgot.
What you smoking?
What you smoking?
Okay.
So we want to know indica, sativa, kind of what's your preference? You dabble in both. Seems like you're all over the place with CBD, THC. So
But it's a method to the madness.
what is like your main preference, like that your love? And
Well,
soul
no,
goes to?
my main preference is for the entirety of the plant.
Okay.
Like I have to use it all day long, every day, and all part of it. Not just to get high, guys. Like I said, nutritional aspects of hemp. I wake up in the morning, put hemp hearts in my oatmeal.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
is it always through the Gandalf pipe, or do you?
Oh yeah,
are-
only.
Only?
Like, those of you who know me, this is real.
Yeah.
This is my traveling pipe. I have Gandalf pipes that are like probably the size of like your arm.
So no papers, really. You don't do.
No, I try to stay away from that because I mean I don't need it.
Yeah, it's just additional.
It's just
yeah.
additional BS, man. I'm already burning it up. You know how a lot of people will like, they don't like drinking out of cans. They'd rather drink out of glass.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that way about cannabis. Glass is
no,
the way.
no water pipes or nothing like that.
I do a like. I mean, I'll if someone offers it
Oh,
to
you
me,
know what?
I'm on it. The only thing I will try to stay away from, and it's a joke, and everybody knows, I say blunts are for the toilet, and I got that from Wiz Khalifa.
What's up,
Dude,
Scott?
hey,
Shout out to Wiz.
Shout out to Wiz. Come smoke
Blunts
with
are
the
for
But
the
Savage.
Wiz
toilet?
Khalifa and I have a bond that he doesn't know, but I do.
can you
We
grab
shared
a
a
freeze
we
pipe?
shared a security guard back in the
Freeze
day.
pipe?
My buddy Mark. Shout out to my buddy Mark.
Mark.
I used to have my own security guard back in the day after that fight. I went back into business after that fight, and my parents wouldn't allow me to go back to business unless I had a plan. They were afraid it was going to happen
Oh,
again.
shit.
So I hired my own personal security, and his name was Mark, and he was also a security guard for Wiz Khalifa, which is kind of cool.
man, that's awesome.
Yeah, you know what's funny? While it was happening, it wasn't awesome. But now I say it, it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
But it wasn't
hell yeah.
awesome when I was dealing with it. Having a caretaker everywhere I went was not cool. I would actually make a game out of like trying to ditch him all the time.
So next question. So you got obviously pipe. Were you ever back in the day? So we said blunts or papers.
Oh, papers, no blunts.
Never
Blunts are
smoked
for the
blunts?
toilet.
Blunts
Yeah.
are for the toilet.
Yeah.
My man.
Blunts are for the
Big
toilet.
guy.
And now
Okay.
just straight glass. You ever hear of the freeze pipe?
I love them. I love it.
So-
I
so-
mean, I could be Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
And we have an idea, so we're gonna go next one. So we have an idea. You go CBD when it's time, and THC when it's time. You have your own.
What we talk
deal.
about all day, right? So I consume
Yeah.
it from an edible point of view, from a nutritional, therapeutic, and mental wellness. So you'll catch me eating hemp, ingesting CBD from a edible point of view, like food, and then THC same way, right? And then I drink it too. And then I smoke it. So what do I smoke in the morning? I smoke CBG, CBC, and sativa.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's my morning salad.
That boy got a mixture.
That
See,
is so
listen
crazy.
to
That's
this
so
shit.
dialed in.
This
Well,
is
no, because
how
I
do
know
when
I
be
know
growing my
myself.
shit. He
You know what I'm
got
saying?
he
So I
got
want
the
to. If I got to
LBC
get up and go, that's
and he
how
listen
you
to
do it. That's
BBD.
yeah.
that's the way you do it. You want to get up and go.
and he
That's the way.
smoked that THC.
Now here's some people who don't need to get up and go. Now there's some days I don't need that formula, and I need to bring it down a notch because I can't even handle myself because
Talk to
I'm too high vibrational. So bring it down. So then that's a whole different ballgame. So then we're talking about give me some CBD that has a little bit of THCV in it.
Okay.
Okay. And if you don't know about THCV, we'll come back to it. And then I will put that with indica, and then that will level me out to normalization to a point of like me feeling comfortable with the rest of the world.
My man.
Because I actually do operate at a high level of intensity.
You do.
And I got to bring it down a notch
yeah.
so that motherfuckers can actually handle my message.
So that's an Alaskan Thunderfuck is a sativa or an
Super
indica?
sativa.
Super sativa.
Matter of fact, we smoked it last night, and I wanted to mention that we did have first night feels of smoking dope. We were giggling like
That's
it
so
was my
awesome.
first night, and I know that wasn't placebo either because it like continued throughout the night,
So
and I just
Yeah.
kept on laughing
So I'm
and giggling.
drinking this and smoking that sativa. No wonder I'm over here like, oh shit. What the
Oh yeah, and then if
It's
the
got me a little
sativa's got
jittery
you,
over
that,
here,
so the
yeah.
pen will bring you home.
The pen.
Use the
pen will
pen.
bring
Use
you
the
home?
pen. Pen will bring you that home.
Hit some of that timber.
Pulling us in the middle of the triangle.
Yes, yes, I know what I'm doing. I'm doing
My
it.
man.
I thought about it.
It used to be a much different triangle for me back in the day,
Right.
but yeah, absolutely now it's.
Should we switch up the strain, or do you guys want to continue smoking Alaskan?
Oh,
So
I'm-
I already got this
Yeah,
packed
you
with
got
some of the
that.
hash in there, and
Oh,
I
hash
got
is nice.
Yeah.
some of this water gas, which
Well, why don't you light it up?
oh no,
Oh my God, I'm sorry. distracted, and now he left. He said, "You know what? Fuck this. He didn't give me that pipe."
It's like, I quit.
He probably just went to the bathroom or something.
Absolutely. That's hilarious.
But now we'll go ladies first since he left, and then we'll give him a fresh pack when he comes back.
Ladies first.
Man, that's crazy. Shit.
I got to use the restroom myself. So
I was going to say, we can take a little break real quick.
Yeah, let's take a little break. So actually,
Station identification.
we're about to smoke. What did you call that?
Dude, so that's some water gas in a freeze pipe right there, and we also got some White Widow hash kind of sprinkled in the bowl pack.
What are we about to do
So
to ourselves?
once that hash ignites, you definitely feel it.
Get fucked up. Get fucked up.
But man, that freeze pipe's got that glycerin chamber. You just throw it in the freezer for a
Look at
couple
that
hours, and
motherfucking
that
glycerin.
stays cold for. Oh man, that's a huge hit.
Man, that dude
that's
is
a huge
off the-
hit.
Yeah, that's Mr.
Oh, my
CBD.
God.
You know what's cool is that they gave me
Right now, his alter
commentary.
ego is Mr. THC.
I felt like it was like a football moment for me. He's to the 20, he's to the 30, he's to the 40. Touchdown. Did you see how big that hit was? It was unbelievable, folks.
Yeah.
And he didn't cough.
Yeah, he went
No
into
coughing
Mr.
at all.
He went to his
Hey,
alter
that's
ego,
amazing.
Mr. THC.
Sorry, I'm stupid.
Dr. THC on that one.
Hell yeah, man. So
Also, that's actually, let's talk about that. So Mr. CBD, was an ode to Mr. Blue Jeans, as you know. A year or two later, I'm realizing, our logos, if you look at them, Mr. CBD, Dr. THC, and the Hempmeister, just
sir.
like that.
Yes, sir.
There was a reason why we did it. The leaf has a lot of bad connotations,
Okay.
right? And so I wanted to take the leaf out of the logo. So Mr. CBD with the monocle was the wink, wink. It was like the you knew, I knew. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. And then Dr. THC was a little bit different because it was still Mr. CBD, but not everybody was cool with THC. So you got to wear a beard, and I got to put some steampunk glasses on, and you don't know it's me, but it's still me. So Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's the Mr. CBD and Dr. THC dynamic.
that's awesome.
But then along the way, I started learning so much more about hemp. And I was like, oh, hell, we need another logo.
Industrial hemp. That's what
No, nutritional hemp.
nutritional hemp.
Industrial hemp too,
Yeah.
but nutritional hemp is where the Hempmeister came from.
Okay.
And I'm like, it needs its own logo. And I'm like, well, and why do we go with the X-ray glasses? Because now I'm going to help you see through the bullshit.
I love it. And dude, the mustache is
Yes,
just
the mustache
so
is where
on
yes.
point.
Shout out to Julie Harshbarger who helped me make all the original logos for Mr. CBD,
I like it.
which includes
Those are so
the
badass.
Trust Your Dopeness movement.
Man,
Which,
and we see that shit everywhere. When we were at that event last week, everybody's walking around in
Everywhere.
their sweatshirts. I was shocked. Like when they pulled your syrup up from behind when they told us they had THC and CBD drinks, period, there, we were shocked to even see that. When we saw your logo on the bottle, I was like, no shit. Then a couple people, it was Isaiah too.
Shout out to Isaiah.
Yeah, he came in, was all swagged out with your shit. I was like, man, Mr. CBD is everywhere. I was dying to meet you today. I'm glad you hopped on the show, man.
I'm very honored. Thank you. And hearing that does put a super smile on my face because I work hard to try to be everywhere.
Hell yeah.
You are, you another one.
You're
like
covering
I
a
said, like I
nice
said,
ground.
you are just like Moonrock. Moonrock is everywhere. Spliff Society everywhere. These are the.
And I work with all
these
of
are the. But these are the relationships that I've built as well by going to these places. Again, I'm a year deep into this, and I shook hands, and I'm shaking hands, and when it comes to the Illinois cannabis community, you have brought something that you have brought us in actually, and we had a video chat, and it was dope. Can you let us know a little about how you're bringing the community together?
Well, technically, it's kind of like Fight Club, and we're not supposed to talk about it, but we will.
Well, we didn't say nothing. We didn't say nothing. We didn't say no dates.
You just
we didn't
bounced us
say
out of the
who
group
was
that
there.
quick.
We didn't say who was there.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying
kidding.
that
It's kind of funny though.
But I'm just saying you've brought us in. We had to walk through the door, and the other door closed, and then we came out, and then it was like, yo, you guys are here. The Illinois
Man.
cannabis community is real. Come check it out. We want the Savages to be a part of this.
That shit
and I
was
thank
awesome,
you for
too.
that shit, man.
You're welcome.
Me and Tank is, happy about that
So
shit.
this is what I like to talk. This is how it started. So shout out to a lot of people here, and I want to make sure I don't miss anyone because we're talking about community, and I couldn't do it without the community. So I want to, and then, but who is the community? So let's talk about that. Well, there's
is that a shirt? The ICI?
I don't know. Here's what
Can I do that?
I think talk to Aaron and Dave about they got something rocking with that.
I just said that shit.
Right.
So if anybody else say that, I said that shit first. We rocking with the ICI.
Well, here's what I wanted. How it all began. So
in the ICI,
a couple months ago, I had the opportunity to be a keynote speaker at Emerald Acres. Shout out to Jarrett and Kelly, Kif Kier Farms. And Tony P, which I know you guys know, he asked me to be a keynote speaker, and Tony P was doing an event at Emerald Acres. Well, that day I had the opportunity of getting interviewed, and I talked about hemp from an industrial and from a nutritional point of view, CBD from therapeutic, THC from mental wellness and recreation. And in that room that day, everybody from that part of those industries just happened to be there. And I saw electricity for the first time, like legit. And I'm like, usually we're all at odds or not even close to being in the same room. But for once, everybody was in the same room. And I knew it was magical. And I sat with Jarrett and Kelly till 1:30 in the morning and made their ears bleed. And I said, we got to keep this shit going. Got to figure it out. And I'm like, I got to keep it going, awesome, man. And I'm like, this is too good. And we got to start working together as a collaboration, not competition. Collaboration and not competition. And they've done a good job of doing that. Like whoever they are, the communities have been divided. So I tried to bring everybody together, and I was honored that everyone was coming together during that talk. Like I was so humbled by holy shit that everybody is here from all those industries. Come on. And I felt like I was like Jack Herrera, right? You know what I mean? So he was the pioneer, the hemper. You know what I mean? All I'm trying to do is build up that motherfucker's shoulders. Because he already set the groundwork and we kind of forgot about dude. And you know what I'm saying? He already had, hemp's supposed to change the world. He'd be very disappointed right now if he saw where we were at. So that shit pisses me off, and now I'm trying to make something happen. So then I saw light.
You got veins popping out.
Yeah, it's
you
for
can
real.
Feel it.
Hit this timber, we gonna bring you down. Hit the motherfucking.
It's Alaskan Thunderfuck.
Yeah. Let's get them veins.
But we shift that.
But you're absolutely
my
right.
point is that so we got a room full of people together, and the room were industry people who were owners or who had a significant. We saw growth, right? So what I call it the game recognizes game program.
Come on.
And I started meeting up with people and saying, I do individual business with a lot of people. Shout out to HOB, House of Banditos. I met Juju's at, the farmers markets last year. And I was like, man, how are people doing stuff? And they're infusing things a different type of way. And I showed them a different way, introduced them to my plug, Benji again, Everything Better Co. So we help people make everything better. So he took their barbecue stuff and he supersized it with THC and CBD. Now the barbecue sauce was already good. So you don't have to do anything to it, which is why everything is good, that it's tasteless and odorless and never compromises what's going on. So that barbecue sauce, I'm leaving with y'all, by the way.
Man, thank you.
Okay, so also shout out to Briggs. He also helped start us the movement of collaboration.
Keep on talking, big guy.
Started the movement of collaboration, and we started with Goat Genetics. And we took CBD, which is he has USDA certified organic CBD, which is not easy to come by. And this grape fizzy, which actually had some of the best terpenes I've ever had in smokable CBD. I'm like, we got to do something. So I hooked up with Briggs. We stuffed the cones with CBD, which is what you see over here. It's cocoa, the cocoa wraps with CBD fizzy from Goat Genetics. Goat Genetics, Spliff Society, Mr. CBD, Collabo.
That's awesome, bringing it all together.
And think about this. We went from concept to reality within 2 weeks because of a collaboration. Where sometimes concept to reality can take a very long time if you don't have the right partners.
Absolutely.
And the right relationships. Right? So we did that with them. Who else did I want to make an honorable mention to? Shout out to Master Rochi. He's also manufactured by Benji, the big blue bottle.
This one right here?
Yep. I don't have it handy at the moment, but Farah, Zala, my sister, my soul sister, I love her to death. Benji also manufactures for Om, which is AUM, Ayurvedic CBD products.
Okay.
And they're unbelievable. The sprays, you'll see them.
It's sprays.
Yep.
Well, how are they used?
Like a Banaka.
But not okay.
Yeah, I mean, but it's
Okay.
not banana. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah,
It's not a good reference. It's the only one I got. Yeah,
I just like it's not a topical or anything.
no, you put it right, spray it right directly in the mouth, gets under your tongue. Nano liquids do their thing, and it's actually helped people. This is real. I had someone call me and tell me that it helped with restless leg syndrome. It helped them get off of alcohol. It helped
That
them get off
sugar
of
foot.
cocaine.
Help that
Helped them
sugar
get off of
foot.
Molly. Helped them get off of shrooms, which I would beg to differ. Don't abuse them, just use them.
Come on.
Like that. So I actually just use that. That's a good one. That's that. I'm going to write that shit.
Hey,
So then,
Putting that on
Speaking
a
of that,
T-shirt.
speaking of
with
that, let me
that.
bring it back, man. You just said, you write that down. It's not ICI. We high. It's ICC.
yeah.
I was wondering.
I
where
fucked
the
up,
I was
y'all.
sitting
We
at.
high. I was like ICI. Dumb is ICC. Don't try to steal that shit. Heal up, wheel up, bring it back on, rewind. Not ICI. It's ICC. Now we high.
Now,
we
now
right.
I'm with
Now
you.
we right.
I was,
Now
I was
shout-
trying to
shout
figure
out
out
Your
the high,
face was
bro.
over here like, what the fuck is he talking
Hey,
about?
real
Shout
quick,
out to
though,
High.
No, but real
My
quick,
man.
though, just like
ICC.
Charlie, Aaron, Dave. I know you know those guys. They're already rocking that.
They rocking ICC?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I ain't steal it then.
But
just wanna-
but you
know,
were also
don't
going
hide
really
and
at it,
divide
and
it.
I
I'm
just
just
didn't
with
wanna
it, yo.
mess the vibe
Hey,
up
man.
there.
I said ICI. I fucked
shout-
up.
but no,
They ain't
seriously,
rocking
Aaron's
that
coming on
now. You
Monday.
ain't rocking
Yeah, I know they
ICI.
are.
Nobody
Shout
rock
out to
ICI.
that show. They
Fuck
support
that.
support
Charlie
dope people.
them? Oh, yeah.
Aaron and Dave support dope people. You know,
Such
cool
the
guys.
elevated pocket. I love
Yeah.
those guys.
When
I'm
we
very
were at-
thankful. They're
we
super
had a-
educated dudes.
We had a booth set up at DeKalb, and that's when we got the first vibe of like the community and everything. And Aaron was the first one to come up, and he was like, "Oh, you guys are doing a podcast?" Started showing us like his little Zoom box that you can walk around and record on. When I saw just how everybody was willing to hand over information and just be like, "This is a better way to do it. You should try this out." I was like, "These are some cool fucking people. I can't wait to like." And now I'm pumped for this year for all these
I'm working.
events
My
coming
goal
up.
is to work on some projects with them to help out with the true normalization of hemp, CBD, and THC in the restaurant, bar, nightclub space. And like, what did you say earlier? Excuse my burp. Those cards need to be
Everybody
every place.
should be posting them.
So
yeah.
you know what I mean. So from a service point of view, which you understand because you were there, so you know where I'm going with this. The 4-hour class for food and liquor is ridiculously stupid.
Yep.
So could use its own like tinkering, but I'm not trying to be Captain Save-A-Ho for everybody. I'm trying to work my own industry right now,
Yeah.
and I want to be able to see hemp included as included in my ingredients. I should be able to get a salad with hemp parts. Instead of olive oil, give me refined hemp seed oil to dip my bread in. You know what I'm saying? Give me the healthier alternatives, and then if I want to, add a garnish to my food, CBD and THC should be options, and it shouldn't be frowned upon. Because as long as it's served responsibly, it's going to be no problem.
Yeah.
So I want to work on that with Aaron and Dave, they've been very nice enough to offer their helping hand in that direction. And again, shout out to Kelly and Jarrett for Emerald Acres, because what you guys were talking about is Token Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So we brought Token Tuesdays together to bring all the best minds in cannabis in Illinois, and now it's actually expanded beyond state borders.
Amen.
So we're trying to put people together because, again, hemp gets lost in the shuffle.
Right.
And it's a very important part of the process, whether it's hemp bedding, hemp concrete, hemp wood. I highly recommend you getting together with Jarrett and Kelly and having
Already
a series
talked to her.
about that.
She's-
Yeah, that's right.
she's already signed
Oh, yeah,
up,
that's
right?
right. Yeah,
Kelly's on
Kelly's,
point,
we're
Doc.
going to do some public speaking with
Oh, yeah.
NECAN this year. So shout out to
Oh,
Juan and
nice.
Dolly. And I'm going to be doing CEs with them, and
Yes,
then
yes.
Kelly's going to be doing industrial hemp talks, and then shout out to Viviana. She's going to be doing talking about cannabis and cosmetics.
That's in
Now, guys,
Schaumburg?
if you're not ready for cannabis and cosmetics yet, just like you thought, 420 fitness was a thing, wait till the $1 billion bud industry of cannabis cosmetics comes. You've heard it
Yeah.
here. Like a lot of people are not ready. Women do a lot of putting on a face and taking off a face,
Right.
and it damages skin. CBD repairs.
Absolutely.
You got it.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Hey, well, look, man. Again, bro.
Let's get a bridge barriers.
Brother.
Anyone else you want to shout out or
Oh, my goodness.
thank or anything?
He can give shout outs all day.
Yeah, I really could, but I don't want to forget anybody of importance. Shout out to Louis. He's on my business partner. He's got a craft grow going out with Harold. Harold and Moss. So it's William Moss, the garden boss. You guys are gonna want to talk to him at some point too.
Say his
Shout
name
out
again.
William Moss, the garden boss. And then
William Moss, the garden moss, that rolls off the tongue.
it does. He's great. And then he's got his own story that you're gonna want to hear. And then let's see I don't want to forget anybody. Gosh, I swear I'm afraid I'm going to. Shout out to the originals real quick. The people who supported me from day one. CBD Farm, Willie's Remedy. I'm very thankful for them in the beginning. And of course, shout out to Galaxy Treats. They've been with me since the beginning. Thank you for that.
We've seen Galaxy around, absolutely.
They supported me since day one. They're the original trinity for the first 3 companies to actually support Mr. CBD Chicago, which is now turned into a massive conglomerate of businesses collaborating.
I can't wait to show you some of what, after the show, I'll show you some of what Total Homegrown does, like what we have in the works right now with an AI chatbot, Grace.
I was hearing about that.
I was gonna say I shouted her out kind of briefly, but we're gonna have our Grow app. It'll be out before the show airs, but it's gonna be hitting the app stores here this week. So
whatever I can do to help.
THG, Total
I'll
Homegrown.
show it off to you, and I'll get you a little plug-in so you can just hook right into it. No subscription needed, but we're trying to revolutionize it and kind of make it for the smaller people in growing, the small home growers.
Home growing is important. I would like to
homegrown.
see a situation turn back into caregiving, where caregivers can actually help people get their medicine again. A lot of people who have medical cards, okay, I'm about to throw some people under the bus. Ready? So dispensaries are conveyor belt cannabis. It's conveyor belt cannabis, guys. It's like the McDonald's of dope. And I'm telling you right now, it's not okay. I've seen mold out there. I've seen a lot of things that people are claiming to be one thing, and then they're showing me another. I've secret shop places, and I'm not going to call them out directly, but the lack of education is appalling, and the quality is even worse. If you know what bud is supposed to look like, then you know that dispensaries aren't putting out good stuff right now. It's a shame. It's a super shame. And that's why we're trying to, people talk about, well, how come you have stuff that's so, really just so you know, the real dirty secret of dispensaries, you ready for this? People frown upon hemp-derived cannabinoids, but newsflash, the dispensaries are putting them in there too.
On blast.
So, piss off.
And
You
You want to know why they don't like people like me? It's because it's called free enterprise. You guys fell for the scam of Illinois. I'm sorry.
And
I looked at everything and was like, well, this is the path of least resistance over here. And I didn't do anything that you had to do. And I'm sorry if you lost money in the scam that was called the lottery of trying to get your license. If you didn't, I'm sorry that you got scammed. Okay? Are you okay with this?
Nah, absolutely. Let them know. Because you know what? I always tell everybody, you can come on the Savages, and if you think you got Illinois dispo weed that can stand up to what we can source, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
I'm telling
Craft
you.
growers, we love you. I know you put love into the plant, so make you real clear. I don't want chemicals in my shit. Okay? I don't want chemicals. I want it as natural as possible. Isn't the whole idea of having cannabis to be natural and is no bullshit. And what did we say earlier? The cannabis is very absorbent. So if it can absorb radiation, it can absorb all the BS, and people aren't flushing their plants properly, they're not curating properly, and then guess what ends up happening? If I am, just remember what I said earlier, if the food we consume is out of balance, what about the pot that we consume if that is also out of balance? Now, what does that mean? It means if I'm stressing out the plant, and if I'm smoking a stressed plant, you could become stressed.
Correct.
You are what you smoke and eat.
Right.
And so guess what? Another one. I want my plants to have good water, nothing but soil, or if you're going to do hydroponics, it better be natural. Just give me good water.
Right.
Give me good water, give me good soil, give me proper lighting, less BS, and you should probably be paying Mozart to your plants.
Well,
I want intelligent plants, motherfuckers.
We got a little smart speaker up in our grow. Yeah.
I mean, you can have some gangster plants too.
I do.
Here's the moment. Sometimes you gotta get gangster. But we always talk about when people are having babies, right? That you're supposed to be playing certain music to actually develop the brain.
Oh,
so we are vibrational beings that are made out of water.
Yeah.
So if the stuff that we use to consume needs water, and that's vibrational, and we need to have water that's at a high vibration, then you put the high vibrational water in the damn plant that's going back into us, and you stay in a high vibrational state. Does everybody understand what I said?
Hell yeah. We stay in that flow.
Does that make sense? But people don't get that part, guys. And again, I love y'all in the cannabis space. And then those of you who have pigeonholed yourself into just getting high and having high quality, high moments, please expand your horizons. Please help me help us. Because if we have a foundation of hemp and CBD for the masses, the only way we get to critical mass in this country, which is 10% market penetration of anything, is with education.
Education.
And that's it.
And this
because
is
we're
what it's
uneducated and misinformed.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something, man. I want to tell you something. Thank you for coming out and educating the savages. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. Let me tell you something. If you are the first person on here with the most nicknames, bruh, we got we got Mr. Blue Jeans, Mark motherfucking Kanicki, Moses, Mr. fucking and Mr. motherfucking CBD. God damn, man.
You could probably
and then you got all the other.
And then you got all the
helmets
other ones that you probably ain't told us that somebody
Oh my
just
God,
told
you got a family tree just in yourself.
And
Holy
I'm gonna,
shit.
I got to give you the last one, man. For me, friend, man. Everybody should
Absolutely.
be calling you friend after this, man. And I am so happy to honestly say that he's a what?
Oh, a savage. Through and through. Thoroughbred. Savage. Thank you for being on.
No, thank you guys. You know, I feel like there's still never enough time. You know what I mean? Because there's so much.
We can keep going on and on.
The only thing I wanted to mention, though, I will say this. You know, we don't just distribute products. Our goal is to be kind of like, I don't know if I can say this. So our goal is to be like the Costco of cannabis. We're a membership-driven site where people can pay. We have a 420 club where people pay $4.20 a month to get 30% off their products, and they get free shipping. And no one's going to be worried about $4.20. As a matter of fact, you might chuckle when you see that come through your bills.
Yep.
And you're not going to cancel that. And again, if you're getting that, I want to be able to give people affordable cannabis. And instead of taxing people 33%, I give them about 30% off, roughly. And then they get free shipping and quality cannabis. They know that all of our products have COAs, which is Certificate of Analysis, in case you didn't know. But I don't expect you to know how to read those. So we try to do our best to make sure the stuff that's coming through is quality and that it came through labs that are, they're going to have to come through labs now that are DEA regulated, GMP certified labs. It's all coming. And so we're getting ahead of the game before the rules can be are coming for us. We know what they want from us, so we just do it ahead of time, and we stand by the quality of what we do and the products that we distribute. But we also have learned that we started dabbling into other things. We because of Mr. CBD Chicago and our visibility out there, people started calling me for a lot of things, such as raw materials. And at first I was like, well, I don't think we could do that. But then I realized, I'm like, well, I don't want to stop taking those calls and not help people. And then I found ways of providing raw materials for people to help them cut overhead and increase their profits. And then along the way, I built a great relationship with Benji from Everything Better Co. And I was like, listen, man, I could help someone come from a legacy market who is in the black market arena and show them how to become legal. And so that's what we did. And so awesome. And we're doing that because people always say, well, I would do it if I knew how. It's so damn expensive. Well, it's not if you do it my way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so I've shown people a different way. And I've gotten into major grocery stores. I've got gas stations too, but our heavily focus is like wellness centers, animal places for dog grooming and like boarding. To curb it. Some people only use CBD for their animals, like during thunderstorms and like fireworks. I encourage you to understand that, just like you, it should be taken daily.
Pet health is insane right now. I mean, you said that your dog lived to be 19.
Correct.
I mean, that's I grew up with dogs only living to be like 10, 12 years old.
Right.
And now you do see it. My current Roddy is 3 years old, but if you feed them the right things, you kind of pay attention to them. And they stay healthy.
Oh, and a lot of times that we will take care of our animals better than we take care of ourselves. So it's
absolutely,
true. It's true. I've done it. So my point is that we help tap into that a little bit, and then and eventually ease people into better decisions for themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
My dog is 14.
14?
Yeah, before I walked out the door. I said, Bella, you all right?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, up until the day Smokey crossed the Rainbow Bridge, I thought he was 17. And then my mom, when we took him to the crematorium, informed me. She's like, I didn't want to bother you because you were like putting it out there. She kept telling me, I'm good on the paper. And thank you, though.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I remember when you got him, and you're not doing the math right, he's actually 19. So even after he passed, he was still surprising me. My dog, like, you know how there's like that dude from the commercials, Dos Equis, the world's most interesting man. My dog was the world's most interesting dog. And so I'm actually writing a book about my relationship and my 19-year walk with him. That's going to be called A Walk with a Sled Dog, which talks a lot about what we talked about today. And I'm actually going to publish this book on hemp paper.
Oh, that's sick.
So thank you. I'm excited about that. And it's going to be coming down the pipeline soon, and it'll be on all major platforms, digitally, and and we're going to actually, I'm going to go a step further, by the way, after I'm done with this book. My goal is to publish several books this year. After I'm done with my Walk with a Sled Dog, which is my story with my best friend Smokey, I'm going to do a Mr. CBD informational book that I want to publish.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to do a Hempmeister one. I'm going to do a Dr. THC one, the Entourage one, then the goal down the road for 2025 will be to do a fungus one, to do for functional fungus and for psychedelic purposes.
That's such a cool thought. And this is all going to be like educational books, or is it going to kind of be a story
Education
a little
and
bit?
entertainment.
That's
Because
awesome.
because I'm not, as you can tell, I'm kind of like a George Carlin of cannabis. I'm here to tell you how it is.
George Carlin of cannabis.
Right, and I have a voice like Wolfman Jack. So
Check this out. We connect. I'm sorry, man. Check this out. I grew up. My dad, he gonna love this. So I grew up watching Saturday Night Special, and I fucking love Wolfman Jack. And it's crazy that you said that. So I used to say, let me clear my throat. Hold on. It's just like,
yeah, don't smoke that
I used
ash
to
or drink that ash.
Hey man, this is Wolfman Jack from the Midnight Special. We gonna get down and boogie.
how you like that Wolfman Jack? Right there?
It's really good.
There it is.
Well, shit, man, and everybody can. We can kind of see Mr. CBD Chicago everywhere. MrCBDChicago.com. You got Instagram, Twitter.
We're not on Twitter or whatever they call it now.
Oh, no?
I'm really just focused on Instagram and Facebook right now.
Instagram and
then,
Facebook.
We're gonna obviously start to amp up on. Our goal is to amp up on TikTok, Pinterest for recipes, and then our goal is to be on YouTube with more reels. I'll be doing these educational stuff. Like, with your permission, I would love to be able to cut some of this up.
Oh yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Make it reels out of it with you guys.
Yeah,
No doubt,
absolutely.
That'd be
We'd
helpful.
love to.
Yeah.
You know, I've had the unique opportunity of being guest on some really cool shows. This is one of my favorites for sure.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I really appreciate
That means
this.
a lot.
It means a lot to me too.
I
This is really cool.
appreciate it, bro.
It's really cool. That's really cool.
We cannot. Again,
Thank
man,
you.
we can't.
Oh, yeah.
The words is coming out of my mouth, but it ain't coming out of my mouth. We can't express how much that we are happy to have you here, man, and happy to listen to you give this knowledge to the people who, like we said, we sitting here, we just smokers, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people just smokers. A lot of people don't know until they can get all this information from Mr. CBD Chicago website, man, and you just drop gems like bling, 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 bling.
He just gave me so much hope to get my sense of smell back, to not be feeling pain in multiple spots of my
What is
body.
that?
Like,
CBD
man,
what? Get a smell back with the CBD?
Well, that for me, that's a couple different things. It's
Put the mixture together?
Well, it's a mixture of definitely getting so the Delta 8.
Delta 8.
Absolutely.
The Delta 8 nano liquids will help you
THC
with
Delta
that.
8. That's going to get you
We're
back.
So
definitely gonna try
it's going to
some things
increase
out.
your appetite, though. So that
God.
yeah, I know. I'm just going to tell you that right now. The munchies are real with that
Oh,
ash. You
dude.
got to be careful.
and my
Yeah.
wife can cook. She can. It's
Well,
such
you
a
need
problem.
that.
It's
Obviously,
terrible.
you need that back.
Here's what I would suggest. When we talked about 420 fitness, guys, you need to make sure that you're at the very minimum constantly moving. So what did we talk about earlier? You're made of water, right? And what happens when water is stagnant?
It
Goes bad.
Goes real bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Real bad. So now you got to fix that shit. So that means 15 minutes a day, start somewhere. Got to get the blood flowing.
That's
So
right.
5 minutes of Tai Chi and then go walk, move, get moving.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you're going to do,
Yeah.
just move. Because not moving, and again, if you can't understand that water reference, again, remember I was talking about high vibrational water, go look up the research from Japan about yelling at snowflakes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No,
Did he
but I
say
can't wait
yelling
to
at
look it up.
snowflakes?
Come on, man. So snowflakes are made of water, right?
Yeah.
You yell at a snowflake, it turns dark.
It does?
Yeah.
Did y'all fucking hear this shit?
It's a science dude, not me. I'm not the one that did it,
fucking
folks.
CBD. That's
Hell,
some.
it is snow.
That's some Mr. Blue Jeans type shit right
I
there.
thought it was some type of
That-
poetic thing. Like I was
No,
trying to
and
figure out
then, and then when
something.
you get positivity to the snowflakes, they crystallize and look beautiful.
Shut the fuck up. That was some pimp shit. Shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna be looking like a fucking
It
madman
just-
in my
just-
front
well,
yard
I guess
later.
from a verbal point of
Just
view,
turn it-
here's
just
how I
shut the
look
fuck
at
up and
it.
just
You know,
turn it
it's
just
like
color get scared. Huh?
I joke around.
fuck?
It's like kung fu in my walk, karate in my talk, and my pimp hand is strong.
Hey, I love that. Oh
You
yeah,
can-
hey Drew brought it up right
That's
here
some
about the
definite down
snowflakes.
wine.
No, actually, you know what that really comes from? Iceberg Slim.
Okay. Hey. Okay.
If you know who that is.
Oh yeah, I know who Iceberg Slim is.
Shout out to Terrell Barnes. We've been pimping since '92, bro. Thanks.
He said pimpin' since.
Well, shit, man.
Yes, and that stuff gets passed down like the knowledge. You know what I mean? You can't find that in the book. Although with Iceberg Slim you did, but
Yeah.
yes, my point
Yeah,
is
Iceberg
that
Slim was a book.
that and I joke. I'm not a pimp, guys. I just like to just you know what I mean. I kind of when I joke around. Did you ever see the movie with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell?
Right.
Oh yeah, dude, Gators
Mark
bitches better be
Wahlberg
using
and
Jimmy's. The other guys, with Dirty Mike and the boys,
When I
whatever,
saw
fucking in the
that, I
Prius.
genuinely
Oh my
thought someone
god,
had been spying on me. It's like,
that one of the funniest movies next to like Step Brothers. They really put out some gems. But hey guys, we really appreciate you all tuning in. I mean, we gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey man. Well,
Hey.
you know what? We can talk to him all day. But yeah,
I was
I,
gonna say, we
definitely,
can keep
I
going.
definitely
Oh,
think.
it's not gonna make us that live, but I am gonna head to Munchies right now on 95th, and I'm about to go guest like Bud Tend essentially.
Okay.
This will probably be dropping like end of February. So yeah, we got a whole bunch plotted out.
Right before my birthday, March 2nd.
Oh shit, on March 12th.
Cool. Oh yeah,
Hell
there you
yeah.
go. Swim with the fish.
This would be a great happy birthday.
What's that?
If it comes out before
Oh,
your
yeah,
birthday,
absolutely.
it comes out before your birthday. Happy birthday! This is a great happy birthday to him.
Thank you,
happy
thank
birthday.
you.
So if it move forward, happy birthday, Mark.
Yeah, but I'm Tank with Total Homegrown. Guys, you can go to totalhomegrown.com. You can find Smoking with Savages there. You can go talk to Grace, our AI chatbot. And man, D, you smell something, bro?
I smell smoke. And we've been getting it on, kicking it, having a wonderful time with Mr. Blue Jeans, a.k.a. Mark motherfucking Kanicki, a.k.a. Mr. CBD, and my favorite that he got already. I told y'all don't steal this shit. Moses. Thanks for giving us
Moses
the knowledge
Marijuana.
again, bro. Moses Marijuana. We enjoyed you. You that motherfucking Alaskan Thunderfuck. You brought your first love into this motherfucker, and we love you. Thank you,
yeah.
big dog.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are
you,
definitely
thank you,
a savage,
thank
man.
you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's a wrap.